Welcome, everybody, to Spartan Stadium in Gonzales, home of the East Ascension Spartans. You're watching the REV Game of the Week. I'm Jeff Porsche, and Jonathan Moore will be with me shortly for tonight's non-district matchup between the East Ascension Spartans and the visiting TEURLINGS Catholic Rebels. When we come back, we'll talk about the game and get to the starting lineups and the opening kickoff. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar, go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Mark your calendars for the first annual City of Gonzales Fall Fest. Join us on Sunday, October 27th at the Price of Law Pace Center from noon to 4 p.m. Enjoy a fantastic range of free fall activities and be entertained by the soulful sounds of Jamel Richardson. It's an event full of fun and music that you won't want to miss.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week here on Burnside at Spartan Stadium in Gonzales. Jeff Porsche, Jonathan Moore with you for TEURLINGS Catholic at East Ascension. TEURLINGS Catholic 7-0, 4-0 in their district, and they're a 4A team. East Ascension a 5A team, 3-4 and 2-2 on the season. We're about 10 minutes from the opening kickoff. And when we look at these two teams, as we said, they're not a district matchup. So the TEURLINGS Catholic, the Rebels are from 4A, and they are a really good team, and they're unbeaten. And they're taking on East Ascension, who, of course, comes from 5A. And when you look at what happened last week with these two teams, East Ascension had the big rivalry matchup with Santamon, and EA had a chance to win near the end, but could not get it into the end zone, and they lost 17-12 to Santamon. Now, TEURLINGS Catholic, they won over North Vermilion by forfeit because the week before, North Vermilion and Como played, and there was a fight after the game. And so when two teams go out onto the field and fight, they have to forfeit their next game. So TEURLINGS Catholic is either going to be rested or rusty. We'll see which one it is. When it comes to 5A, Dutchtown leads the way, and they are taking on Walker tonight. Dutchtown 6-0, 3-0. Walker's 4-3, 2-1 in district play. Santamon's 4-2, 2-1, and they have homecoming tonight, taking on Live Oak. That's one of our other REV games of the week. Denham, they beat Prairieville last night. They're 5-3, 2-2. East Ascension, you can see there in the middle of the pack. Live Oak 3-4, 2-2, and then Prairieville taking up the rear in their first season playing high school football. Now we're going to turn it over to Jonathan, and we're going to talk about these two coaches, Dane Charpentier and Brock Mathern, over at East Ascension.
Thank you, Jeff. Happy to be here with everybody tonight. Yeah, I got the opportunity to talk with both coaches earlier. This is kind of a unique matchup. I mean, it's the first time both these schools have ever met, to the coaches' knowledge, and both of them are playing pretty well this year. I mean, TEURLINGS, 7-0. They're probably going to be the number 1 seed. They have a very good chance of going to the Dome this year. EA, they're fighting for playoffs. They need one more win, maybe 2, and they'll probably get a spot in there. And talking with both the coaches and just asking them about their game plan, what were they thinking about going in forward. I got to talk with Coach Mathern, and he just said we need to get the ball into the hands of our playmakers. They need to get them in the hand of the playmakers. They know that the team is well coached. They have a very good offensive line, a very good run game. They've got to keep the ball in their hands, establish the run, and play good defense. And when you talk with TEURLINGS, it's no secret what they want to do. They want to run the ball, especially behind that left side where they have a player who's going to be playing at the next level, and they want to pound the rock. They want to control the clock and play very hard defense.
This might be a tough one for East Ascension. As you talked about, and I talked about, this is an unbeaten TEURLINGS Catholic team, and they've won some big games this season. And if you want to look at maybe an indicator of where this might go, these two teams had common opponents, or one common opponent, and they played them in back-to-back weeks. That would be Sam Houston. And TEURLINGS played Sam Houston in week 2, and they defeated Sam Houston by a score of 48-21. The next week, Sam Houston played against East Ascension. Sam Houston beat East Ascension by a score of 48-24. As you see, TEURLINGS Catholic going out on the field to the left in their blue jerseys, or blue pants, blue helmets, and white jerseys with blue numbers. So TEURLINGS beat Sam Houston about as badly as Sam Houston beat East Ascension. Now, you can't use the transitive property all the time in sports, but it might be tough for East Ascension here tonight.
It's definitely going to be a tough game. The one good thing that EA has since that game is that was only the second week of a new coaching administration, a new era in EA football. So at that point, maybe they're trying to work kinks out. Maybe they're trying to still establish the culture. They're trying to get the game plan going well. And at that point, as a coach, you're still trying to feel out, what do we have in players? What do we have in our scheme? And so hopefully they've kind of addressed some things since then, continue to improve. I mean, after watching EA play last year and seeing them play this year, I can tell you they are a much improved team.
Yeah.
And here they are coming on the field right now.
They're going to go through their little sparkler system and then head to their inflatable over there on the right side in the end zone. They have their Spartan inflatable out there, and that's where they're going to enter. We're still waiting for that to happen, but meanwhile, you're being entertained by the LED light show, and that's something that's new to the stadiums. A couple of years ago, you get the turf. Now the newest development is the LED lights, and everybody seems to do that now with these displays. Every school has a presentation with their school colors, and that's what you're seeing right now with the blue and the yellow for East Ascension.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to thank them, but I remember first seeing that at Alabama, and now it's just like you're right. It just seems like it's everywhere, but definitely a lot of improvements have been made to this field over the years. It looks very nice.
While we wait for East Ascension to show up, maybe right now we can talk about the games that are going to take place in 5A this week. There's already been one, Denham at Prairieville. Denham won 49-0. You have Dutchtown at Walker. Then you have Live Oak at Sandoval, our REV game of the week for homecoming at Sandoval High School. And then our game here right now, the one non-district matchup, TEURLINGS at East Ascension. And in case you were not aware, every week one team in 5A has to play a non-district game as East Ascension heads out onto the field. When you have 7 teams, you can only have 3 head-to-heads, and then one team is left out. So this week is the week that East Ascension is left out, as we had, I believe, maybe a collision there with one of the camera operators down there on the field. I think everybody's okay, though. And you see they're also being accompanied by a couple of their feeder schools. As you see, the Central Middle Mustangs also out there with them. And so the band plays their fight song, and I believe in just a moment we're going to get to the presentation of the colors and the prayers. So while we wait for that, you can see on the far side of the field you have the captains ready for TEURLINGS, and now you have the captains ready over there on the
Ladies and gentlemen,
East Ascension
please
side.
rise and remove your hats. First, for a moment of silence in honor of a Louisiana high school football legend, Coach Charles Baglio. As a head coach at Independence High School, Coach Baggs won 206 games in 22 years, earning a remarkable 77% win rate. After his high school coaching career, Coach Baggs became the Director of External Operations with LSU football, contributing to 3 national championship teams and fostering connections across our great state. Please join us in remembering this legendary figure with a moment of silence, honoring his contributions to the sport and to our state. Thank you. Tonight's colors are being presented by the East Ascension High School Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Members of the color guard tonight, on the national flag, Cadet Yitzhak Escalante. On the state flag, Cadet Damian Pattison. Right rifleman, Cadet Montel Cole. And left rifleman, Cadet Patrick Langlois. Tonight's national anthem will be played by the Pride of EA Spartan Band. Tonight, our national anthem will be performed by choir members Jordan Daigle, Micah Hughes, and Luke Chapman.
So we are just about ready for the captains and the coin toss, followed by the opening kickoff. And the captains will come out shortly. On the East Ascension side, it looks like the captains will be number 1, Duron McZeal, and number 51, that would be Jashawn Wilkes, number 46, Zachary Jupiter. And let's see, also number 21, Jeremiah Wilson. On the TEURLINGS side, you see number 7, Caleb Daniels, number 9, Jack Purser, number 76, Gresham Perry, and then number 20, Doug Viltz. And so the captains are heading out to the field right now. And thanks a lot to my partner here for the assist. on getting some of those numbers. It's hard to see when you're an old man out on the other side of the field, especially the 8s look like the 9s and things like that. So we are now ready for the coin toss. And we got a great shot right there on the field as per usual. So the coin toss coming shortly. Teurlings, as the visitor, will call it, and the winner will probably defer.
Referee explaining everything he wants for tonight from both teams.
Let's just have a clean game here tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. Maybe need a jacket, maybe not. It's very nice outside. Temperature in the 70s and not many clouds in the sky.
Number 20, Doug Bills.
So it looks like Teurlings has won the toss. And so they defer. That's unless you're LSU, that's what you generally do when you win the toss, because you want to have that. You want to have the opportunity to have the final drive at the end of the first half and the first drive at the end of the second half. But that means that East Ascension at home will get the football and receive first. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago when they took on Prairieville and they came down and scored a touchdown en route to a easy victory that week.
Yeah, last week against Sandomal, Sandomal got the ball first. They drove down. They scored a big touchdown quick. We'll see if EA is able to go down tonight and establish some rhythm here, get a score. Teurlings is tough. Yes. They're going to play very tough defense, and I'm looking forward to seeing how improved EA really is.
Well, we're going to look at the EA starters right now before this opening kickoff, and there's going to be some problems potentially at quarterback because you had Cam LeBlanc and Hudson Browning, and either one of them are available. So the quarterback is going to be number 9, Caden Gautreaux, for East Ascension tonight, and he's going to be joined in the backfield primarily by number 21, Jeremiah Wilson, and number 6, Jason Blackburn. Lathan Dumas at wide receiver, Justin Oob will be with him. And then Deron McZeal, he's going to be the backup quarterback tonight, and you're going to see him kind of all over the field in a utility role. Offensive line, Bryson Martinez, Javon Matthews, Jaden Bertu, Kendall Green, and Carson Lacombe. And so it looks like back to receive is going to be Dumas for East Ascension. And the kicker for Teurlings is number 24, Paul Holland, for the Rebels. So here we go. And week 8 is underway, and it's taken by the other back. And he has a hole up the middle, and he breaks through to the 35, to the 40, to the 42-yard line. And that's a great return by number 6, Jason Blackburn, as you see on the replay right here.
Good return at the middle, saw a seam, was able to make it up there, recover. The last guy got him, but a good start for EA, getting the ball nearly in Teurlings territory.
And so we'll get to the Teurlings defensive starters after this play on first down. And it looks like you're going to have Wilson operating as the lone back in the backfield with 4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right. We're just underway. Teurlings Catholic at East Ascension. So getting the signals from the coaching staff, and we are just about ready to go. Ball marked at the 43-yard line, and there's a handoff up the middle, and a nice hole for about 7 yards by Jeremiah Wilson. Teurlings Catholic on defense, they're going to run a 4-3 as we look at this replay first. We'll get to the defensive starters after this play, second down and 3.
Good run right there, pulling that right guard, getting him over that into that gap. Good run there right by EA.
And on second down, pass is jumped and nearly picked off. It was underthrown, and that's the only thing that saved them. Caden Chavis, the cornerback, with the play. Now for the defensive starters, you got a 4-3, Matt Davis, Andrew Frugier, Reed Broussard, Harrison Johnson, linebackers Seth Miller, Jack Purser, Jackson Broussard, cornerbacks Caden Chavis made that play right there. Noah Darby, safeties Chandler Hewlin and Caleb Daniels. And now on third down, it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Spartans as number 21 Wilson picks up the first down for East Ascension.
Good run, again up the middle right there. The one advantage EA has on this team, their offensive line is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And so if you're EA, I know they're going to want to throw the football. That's their offense, but they're going to have to lean on the run to control that clock and really try to wear down this Teurlings team.
Out of the shotgun, Gautreaux and Wilson in the backfield. Gautreaux fakes, quick pass, caught. And that's Deron McZeal for about 6 on the play. So just a quick reception. You see McZeal right there in the slot with the quick catch. Like I said, he's going to be kind of your Swiss Army knife, going to be everywhere on the field here tonight.
Yeah, it's a quick little pass, looks like maybe an RPO option. So far, they've been pulling that guard and using him to kind of get over there and hit the A-gap, B-gap on the left side. So I'll be curious to see if they keep on doing that tonight, just kind of matching up man on man and saying we want to put our bigs on your bigs. But a good little pass and catch right there.
And another quick pass to McZeal, and he's going to be close. And it looks like he is going to be shy by maybe a yard. Looks like he's going to be spotted at the 40. We're looking at it right now, watching at 43-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of 2. So 3rd and 2. Can't really see. You're blocked and obstructed by the sideline there, so we couldn't see where he stepped out of bounds. We're not going to say the 43. 3rd and 2, just underway. And there's Blackburn, first down again on the carry. Not Blackburn, make that Jeremiah Wilson on the carry. And you see after the play, after we see this replay, looked like Kendra Green, number 73, came up a little sore. So we'll take a look and see what happens. He's turned over there, but while we wait for a second, what have you seen that's been successful here so far? 2 first downs in a row for the Spartans.
So I think they've done it just about every play. I mean, almost every play has been an RPO, the run-pass option, the modern-day triple option. Almost every single play has been that, but one thing that they're doing, they're pulling a guard or they're pulling a tackle on almost every play. They've pulled them a couple of times at the A-gap. They've pulled them a couple of times at the C-gap. And now what we're seeing is they really are just saying, hey, we're not going to play any zone schemes. We're just going to match up our guys on your guys. We're going to try to get the ball 4 or 5 yards down the field. I mean, they're playing to their strengths right now. They're saying, we've got bigger guys than you. We believe that our line can match up with your line and push them down the field.
Well, some good news is that the offensive lineman is up. It actually looks like it's not Green, 73. That's number 53, Carson Lacombe. And so he's the right tackle. And you're talking about pulling from your positions. He's in that right tackle spot. He was all the way past the left hash. So I think what you're saying there is absolutely true. And so it's a first down.
Yeah, we're going to kind of see the depth that EA has on their line now. We know they're on their 3rd-string quarterback, but how can their linemen hold up?
And there's a reverse kind of, a little inside handoff to McZeal. And you're going to get a lot of McZeal. Like I said, he's going to be in the slot. He's going to be in the backfield. You may even see him at quarterback from what I've been told as he gains 2 on first down, 2nd down and 8. He was crowned homecoming king, I should say. Sorry about that, Deron. In the homecoming night game against Prairieville High School. 2nd down and 8. And Gautreaux looking right all the way, and this is a jump ball, and it falls very luckily incomplete. That could have been a pick right there.
That was a very ill-advised throw. I mean, I get what you're trying to do. You want to take the lid off, but they had too high safety coverage. They were dropping back in the zone. I mean, but you still have to do that sometimes. You have to take a shot. You've got to be willing to let teams know we're not just going to run the ball. We're not just going to throw it 2 yards down the field. So now at least Teurlings has to think about that. Are they willing to throw it?
Too much air underneath that one. And the guy that came closest to getting the football was number 7, free safety, Caleb Daniels for Teurlings Catholic. Now, first, 3rd and long situation for East Ascension. And they're setting up the screen, and it's dropped as number 5 was the intended receiver, Caleb Davis. And he may have had a chance to get a first down if he would have been able to get it. But that ball maybe came in a little hot.
There were very few players in front of him that those 3 offensive linemen weren't going to hit. He had a chance not just for a first down but for a touchdown right there. And they're going to try a field goal. They do have one of the best kickers in the state, but what has been plaguing East Ascension this whole year, dropped passes, and it hits them right there on 3rd down.
This is a 50-yard attempt from Preston Baker, number 49, from the left hash. It's not a very windy night. And they're going to try it, and it is going to be just short. It was on target, but it was probably about 5 yards shy. And so the field goal is no good. That's going to give Teurlings Catholic possession with no score here with 8:43 left to go in the first quarter. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at Teurlings Catholic and their offensive starters. Their quarterback is going to be number 13, Alex Munoz. And then in the backfield, you're going to see Doug Viltz at running back, Carson Evans. Wide receivers are Nick Selstein and Cade Cother. And then at tight end, Jack Purser. Offensive line, Grisham Perry, Drake Perry, Peyton Davis, Jace Surratt, and Thomas Kramer. And now it's 1st and 10. Shotgun, man in motion. That's one of the offensive linemen in the backfield. You know what they're going to try to do, just run it with big guys in front of them, but nowhere to go right there, and it's going to be 2nd down and probably about 10. Let's get to the East Ascension defensive starters and their 4-3 defense. You have Mervyn Ragus, Jace Campbell, John Brown, and Jameer Smith on the line. Linebackers are Jupiter, Miles, and Landry. And then a cornerback, you have DeMarcus Gant, Trenton Palmer, and then the safety, Deron McZeal, and then in the bandit position, number 2, Ernest Mitchell. So no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good start right there for EA. That is a big offensive line that Teurlings has, so that's going to be a challenge for them all night.
And that did not fool number 20 right there for East Ascension as a tackle in the backfield by Jace Campbell. But that fooled me as the quarterback kept it. Munoz, I thought that he had been taken down right there, but Munoz kept it and got about 8. So fooled me.
I don't know if it's possible for Munoz to have pulled that ball any later than he did.
Yeah.
Because the second that ball pulled it out of the running back's stomach, that man was hit. And the 2 EA players watched him get to the edge and still could not beat him there. That's some impressive speed by Munoz.
Yes. They're going to just keep running and running, it seems like. And on 3rd down, that's going to be a 1st and 10 as a carry by Doug Viltz for Teurlings Catholic. And that's going to be the first down of the night for the Rebels.
It's very reminiscent to what Oregon used to do. They're going to run the football. They're going to just do quick, hurry-up offenses. We're going to put you in positions where you just got to make quick decisions. And then after that, it's going to set up one of those big play-action passes.
East Ascension jumped, but they were able to get back. 17 on the play clock. That probably won't matter much tonight. They're going to go with a deep pass downfield, and it is up for grabs and incomplete, trying to get to Cade Cother, number 6, but good defense right there by number 7, DeMarcus Gant for the Spartans.
Yeah, very good defense right there. One good thing East Ascension has this year that not a lot of teams have, they've got 2 very good cornerbacks on each side. Now, they're not going to be called upon as much this game to be in the pass coverage, but when they do, it's going to be plays like that. It's going to be off the play action, deep shots. They've got to be willing to play disciplined.
2nd down. And Viltz is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as he's hit by a lot of guys. And down there near the bottom, you're going to see Gant, number 7, and then also number 42 on the tackle, Ragus. Who else was in there as well?
59. Taylor Jarvis got in there too. And they've got to keep doing that this whole game. That one thing that you're going to have to do against Teurlings, you're going to have to keep your motor going constantly because those runs – those guys just want to keep hitting you and wearing you down. You've got to continue to swim to those ball and play your assignment.
3rd and 11. So East Ascension's got them in a 3rd and long like they want to put them in. And snap is bobbled. And now Munoz has everywhere to run up the middle. Cuts outside. He's got a 1st down and then about 15 extra yards, and the ball is in Spartan territory. They came at him. That's good poise and composure, being able to make something positive out of something that almost was a disaster.
Yeah, that's the gamble you take with the blitz. When you're going after a mobile quarterback like that, you're saying we're either going to get to him immediately, but if he gets a chance to run, he can hurt you.
And there's a swing to Viltz on the left side. and he gets another first down. Teurlings, it's going to be hard to do replays here because Teurlings that runs that hurry-up, no-huddle offense. And so the little swing pass gets them a first down, and now they are in business at the 31. First down, handoff, Viltz again. And he's down past the 25. He's going to pick up about 7 or 8.
So those runs back here when we were on the 20 and 30 starting the drive that we're only going for a yard to 2 yards are now going for 7. So it just that's what happens, keeping this team on the field, not letting them substitute.
Good shot right there of the East Ascension band. It's 2nd down and 3, 4:46 left to go in the opening quarter. No score. Teurlings at East Ascension. Spartans jump again but get back as now they turn to the sidelines. And a fake and a pass up the middle and nearly picked by number 2, Ernest Mitchell. He got his hands on that pass. They were trying to get it to 0, Celestine, but good defense right there.
Mitchell, who's tied for the lead in interceptions in the state, almost had his lead, season leading interception right there. And that's why I said he's got to be prepared because he's not going to get tested a lot in the pass game, but when they do, he's got to be ready for that. So good job right there.
So 3rd and, we'll call it 3.
Yeah, it doesn't look like EA's sending everybody here. It looks like they're going to just play them and see where they're going to. Yeah,
there's about a 6-man front. They're going to challenge the run, and I'm going to wait and call it because every time I look on the far side official is about a yard shy, but then the other guy comes in from the other side and calls it a first down sometimes. That happened to me twice last week in the Dutchtown Denham Springs game, but this time it looks like they're going to stick with the far side judge. He had the best vantage point, and so it's going to be 4th and 1. But one thing that I'm noticing here with East Ascension, basically you got a 6 to 7 man front. You only got about 4 guys, about 3 to 4 yards behind that. Look at the defensive line right there. You got 6 down linemen, I believe, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get the first down. As Viltz runs ahead, breaks tackles, inside the 5, and he is down. Looks like the 1 yard line. That's some hard running right there by number 20. He's a little small guy, but he's carrying the load right now.
Yeah, when I talked with Coach before the game, I asked him, who do we need to look out for? Who's some players that you think are going to be able to make plays? He said, look at our quarterback and our 2 running backs. Look at Evans. Look at Viltz. They're going to be hard to tackle.
And Viltz comes in on the left side and scores a touchdown. So Teurlings Catholic takes the lead 6-0 with 3:32 left to go in the first quarter. As basically you had one guy right there, DeMarcus Gant from his cornerback position, but he could only reach for him as Viltz gets the easy touchdown.
Yeah, it's so hard to stop a team like this when they get the ball with 1 yard to where they need to be. I mean, that's a big offensive line. They're professionals at getting a yard on the field, but how big is that drop now on that screen pass for EA? I mean, you're talking about a 7-point swing with a drop screen pass, and that's the kind of stuff that EA is continuing to clean up to make themselves a better team. But Teurlings just came down, disciplined the whole time, marched down the field, got the plays that they wanted. So
extra point by Boudreaux is good, and so it is 7-0 Teurlings Catholic with the lead. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program: Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, The RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. Jeff Porsche and Jonathan Moore out here to witness the first touchdown of the night by Doug Viltz for Teurlings Catholic. It's 7-0 Rebels lead the Spartans. There's the kickoff, and it's going to be taken near the end zone to the 25, to the 30, and there's a flag. This one will probably be coming back. Jason Blackburn had a nice return, but it's probably going to be pushed back a few yards, so we'll wait for the official. to make that decision.
Yeah, it looked like we had a hold in the middle of the field right there.
27, Castillo.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. So they'll push it back. While we wait for the decision to be made, let's take a look at these two districts, because we said this was a non-district matchup. And in 5-5A, you got the usual suspects. 5-5A didn't change from last year, except that you added a 7th team in Prairieville High School, which is a brand-new high school in Ascension Parish. So nothing has changed there. TEURLINGS plays in 4-4A, but they're playing in Division I. They're one of the 4A teams that actually plays up. And so they're with a couple of the Lafayette schools like Como and Northside. Then you got some of the teams in that Acadiana area like North Vermilion around Abbeville. And then you got Rains, St. Thomas More, of course, and then Westgate as well. That's in New Iberia.
Yeah, TEURLINGS, I mean, they're not a very big school. They play up, and they are a tough team. I mean, they're playing a 5A school right now, and they're leading 7-0 in the first quarter. And if you saw them on the sideline, you would never guess that school only has 150 kids in it.
Duron McZeal is going to keep it from the quarterback spot. We told you that was coming, and he gets a first down as the penalty pushed them back to the 23-yard line, and McZeal on the keeper gets about 15 or 16, and so it's 1st and 10 for East Ascension on the option keeper.
Yeah, good run right there. I mean, just faking the jet sweep and then getting up the middle. It looks like they're going to, like you said, alternate quarterbacks here, and I don't know how good his throwing is. I didn't get to see him throw much during the pregame, but he's got some legs on him, man. That guy can move.
Yep. Looked like the Wildcat of old back in the day in that spot. And McZeal is going to stay in that Wildcat, but this time nothing's going to materialize as he's taken down by number 45, Andrew Frugier, for TEURLINGS Catholic. As you see the replay right there,
yeah.
He came in untouched.
So when you try to do some of those zone run schemes where we're going to try to stretch out the defense and get to those edges, sometimes, especially if you got a bigger offensive line, that puts them in a spot where now they've got to start moving laterally and not just moving downhill. And right there, that played to TEURLINGS' strength. TEURLINGS is all about speed and getting to that edge, and just a tough loss for right there for EA.
You saw in the replay Bryson Martinez, who is basically the top offensive lineman in Ascension Parish and a major college prospect himself. He blew past Martinez, and Martinez kind of pushed him into him. And on 2nd down, just a little short pass and catch. And it's going to be 3rd down and long as McZeal completes the pass, but for nothing.
So far, TEURLINGS has impressed me with just their ability to pursue the football. You know, they're playing very disciplined, not getting lost in the eye candy that's happening in the backfield. And when the pass is completed or the runner declares where he's going, TEURLINGS is hitting with 2 or 3 players going after that.
And so the little short pass goes incomplete to Blackburn, or goes complete to Blackburn for a short gain. Now you got Gautreaux at quarterback, and he's looking right all the way and throws downfield, and it's caught close to a 1st down. He gets it. Number 10, Darren McGee with the catch.
Good passing catch right there, and a great route run by McGee. You know, pushes the number 2, Jack Letchworth, thought he was going up the field the whole time. Turns around, just does a little curl route right near the 1st down. Great job right there by EA for a 1st down on a long 3rd.
Getting to the final minute of the first quarter, 7-0 TEURLINGS leads East Ascension. Ball in Rebel territory, and there's a handoff and another 1st down or close to it. Jeremiah Wilson with the carry, and they're going to move the chains without even looking at it. So ball at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Spartans with 42 seconds left to go.
So good, another good run just right up the middle right there, and now EA pushing the pace a little bit.
EA has moved the ball pretty well. That was just a missed connection right there. Trying to get to Cameron Brady, number 8, and that ball way overthrown, sailed way over his head. 2nd down and 10. That stops the clock with 32 seconds left to go.
Yeah, they're slowing it down a little bit now. I mean, they ran pace after that 1st down, and now just setting things up, looking where they want to go.
So now Gautreaux with the handoff to Wilson, staying on his feet, picking up about 3 to 4 yards on what might be the final play of the first quarter. It was TEURLINGS got the only score so far here in the first quarter with the touchdown run by Viltz. EA has a missed field goal, but they're going to try to get one more play in on 3rd down and 8. And a quick pass deflected and nearly caught on the carom by Caleb Davis, but that's going to fall incomplete. And there's still one more second left to go. So you're going to get a 4th down situation for East Ascension. And they missed a 50-yarder earlier. They will not try one right here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to punt. Just the missed opportunity right there. Good defense by TEURLINGS to bat that ball down. EA, it's hard. They're really struggling when they get into those 3rd and longs right now. They got one on that drive that completed that long pass, but just so far in the passing game, they haven't been consistent.
And there's a snap, and now the clock is at 0. So this is the final play of the first quarter. And a good bounce, and they may get it down inside the 5-yard line. It's going to roll dead at about the 4.5, maybe the 5, on the final play of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, our score, TEURLINGS Catholic 7, East Ascension nothing. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzales. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. TEURLINGS Catholic 7, East Ascension nothing. Jeff Porsche and Jonathan Moore with you. The games last week in 5A, you're looking at right there. Thursday night game, Live Oak beat Prairieville 39-3. Dutchtown, that was a game I covered for the Rev Game of the Week last week, 27-13 over Denham Springs. Santa Ma beat East Ascension in the big rivalry game, 17-12. Archbishop Shaw beat Walker 59-14. Walker's making a bit of a comeback right now. Last I heard, they have a 7-0 lead on Dutchtown at Walker in the first quarter. Now we get back to the action, 1st and 10. And no gain, maybe a loss of a yard.
Yeah, it looks like 59. I think that was Taylor Jarvis again, getting him in the backfield and stopping him.
Trying to go to Wiltz right there, but like I said, they got that 6-man front, and that's going to be hard to penetrate.
I'm surprised they've done a good job of getting penetration, but TEURLINGS is very methodical. They're gonna be patient, and they're gonna take their little 3- and 4-yard gains and then try to hit you for a big pass.
I guess technically they have 5 down linemen right now, and that's a completion and a 1st down. And a shoestring tackle that kept them from getting a lot of yardage right there. And the catch made by number 17, that's Andrew Viator. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Then they're out of their hole back in the shadows of their own end zone.
Good little swing pass right there. Caught EA over pursuing a little bit, but Viator, I mean, if that is a shoestring tackle, that guy misses. He might be going 95 yards for a touchdown right there.
We were told that they run the ball and they love doing that, but they have a little bit of a passing game too, which makes their run game that much more effective when you can at least show a threat of a pass. Munoz on the keeper on 1st down gets some good yardage.
Yeah, a lot of times when you watch offenses like TEURLINGS that, like I said, I compared it earlier to that Oregon offense where when we think about Oregon, you think about the high pace, you think about all the throws, but in reality, they ran the football 60% of the time.
Yeah.
But the 40% they did pass was off of a play action, and everyone's eyes are just locked in on whoever they fake the ball to. And that's a lot of what TEURLINGS tries to do, and it's really fun getting to watch a team like this play.
It's 2nd and 8. Looked like he got more than that, but I believe they may have indicated that he stepped out of bounds before he was tackled. So it's actually 2nd and 8. And the run into the brick wall right there, and it's going to be a no gain, maybe a yard, as Viltz gets the carry, but not much, and they're in a hurry, so it's going to be 3rd down and 7, as you see on the replay, and just tackled by a host of Spartans on that right side. We are 10:16 left to go in the second quarter, 7-0. TEURLINGS with the lead.
Yeah, setting up right here, 3rd and long. We're gonna see his arm right here. We'll see how good it is.
Yeah, Viltz moves into the slot right. Pressure, and you saw him run for a first down earlier. He does it again. He's got some good speed. He found that hole, and he didn't even hesitate, and he just flew through it.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's quick, man. Like I don't know how fast he is when he gets into a 40-yard dash, but when he's 10 yards and he just needs to take off fast, just so far he's gotten out of, what is that, 3 sacks that we've seen him escape from?
Yeah, and he's had 2 scrambles on 3rd down for first. Alex Munoz, junior quarterback. And there's a big hole, and about 8 or 9 yards on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and short. That's number 1, Carson Evans, Carson Evans, the fullback for
2nd down 1 from the Rebel 49.
TEURLINGS. That's, I believe, his first carry of the game. They've almost gone primarily or exclusively to Doug Viltz, number 20.
Yeah, the coach said that they were going to lean on both running backs.
And I think that number 17 right there, the intended receiver, that's a Viator. I don't think he was looking for that pass as we look on the replay right here.
Yeah, it looked a little bit behind him.
It was behind him, and he was just like, I can't reach that.
Yeah, one of those RPOs, and just a little bit behind, but I mean, you kind of see their game plan. It's we want to pound the ball with a run and then just get it to our playmakers in space. So
it's probably wise that he didn't make an effort for that ball, because if you touch it and try to reach for it, that ball could carry him up in the air and be picked off. So that may be wise.
We know that EA, that's one thing about their secondary. They are a bunch of ball hawks. They want the football.
And this is Viltz waits for the hole to develop and gets a 1st down into East Ascension territory. Good patient running right there.
Good patient running, and it's funny watching football nowadays. And we got a player cramping up right there, it looks like. But it's funny watching football nowadays, thanks to players like Peanut Tillman, where now whenever running backs are coming across the middle, you have safeties and linebackers just punching the football instead of trying to make a tackle.
Yeah,
and I saw it right there. And
I know what you're talking about.
Good job by TEURLINGS running back to hold on to the football.
So we have a injury timeout. Like you said, it may be a cramp. It looks like he's going to be okay. That's number 22, middle linebacker for East Ascension, Tony Miles. And so he's going to be walked to the sideline, and I guess that kind of works as a temporary timeout as both teams kind of huddle up and talk it over with their coaches. I guess this is kind of like the equivalent of a hydration break, even though we're at 8:58 left to go in the 2nd quarter. At the beginning of the season, you get those hydration breaks at the 6-minute point. You don't get them anymore because it's not hot anymore. But you kind of just had one right there.
Yeah, this is South Louisiana. Those hydration breaks are there for a good reason, because if you've ever done anything outside in South Louisiana, every 30 minutes I need to get some water, and these kids are out here expending a ton of energy. So hopefully it's going to be interesting to see how they continue tonight, if that's the first cramp we have.
And that is what I thought happened earlier. Jace Campbell takes down Viltz. And now we saw that earlier where you put it in his chest, and then I thought that Campbell had taken him down, but actually Munoz had kept it for about an 8-yard gain. That time they gave it to Viltz, and that time Campbell was right.
Yeah, I mean, he just got so quick up the middle right there and made a good hit of the run. I don't even know if Munoz was expecting him to get hit that fast, but good job by EA. Puts him in 2nd and long, and this is huge right now. They've got the ball on the 46-yard line. EA has got to keep this in a 3rd and long.
Yeah.
And they, whatever they do, they need to contain Munoz and keep this in a 3rd and long right here.
They're setting up the screen, and you see a hold right there, but no flag. And now it's complete, and now there's a couple of flags that come in.
I mean, we got to have an eligible man downfield, right?
I would think. They missed an obvious hold. I think I didn't even have to explain that to the people that were watching. But then immediately after that, you're going to see 2 flags just fly up.
I don't know.
You see them both.
I mean, I think they're probably 2 separate flags because you had to have an eligible man, but I don't know what happened down here. There was an EA player knocked down.
Yeah.
So we're going to see which one they called the most.
Yeah, the official at the line of scrimmage was the one who threw that up, and I think that there you knew that.
And that's
eligible player downfield.
And that looks like it's the one that he's going to accept.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that you didn't get the hold on the pass rush right there. And, of course, you're letting him through to set up the screen, but you can't just grab him once he gets past you and put some pressure on Munoz.
Yeah, I mean, and it is surprising they didn't call that because it was right in front of an official, but you never know what they're looking at sometimes. But they got the ineligible into. I mean, that play was so long developing. Those linemen were almost to the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
So they're 15 yards down the field, and I thought there were two separate penalties, and that's what they were talking about. But it looks like there's an eligible downfield. That one's declined. Yeah, here's the second penalty. No, they're going to decline. Just go for third down.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna accept the play, I guess.
Yeah, he just wants 3rd and 13.
Or was it? No, because they did complete it. Didn't they complete that pass? I think they're going to have to figure this out, because if they decline the penalty, they're going to have to accept the play, and that was a completed pass, wasn't it?
I don't remember if he completed it at this point. I just remember seeing 2 flags and a missed flag, and now we're watching it and they're talking about it. I don't know what.
Now the down marker still has second down.
Yeah. The market that they're putting on 3rd it must have been an incomplete pass, unless they're gonna.
Are they gonna assess? Yeah, they're gonna assess this penalty.
Yeah.
They are going to assess
second down.
Penalty is now accepted.
Yeah.
So the coach Mathur must have thought it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
And I mean the officials thought that too, because they were ready to roll with 3rd down, but.
Second down, 18 yards.
I was wondering if they were accepting a second penalty, because you saw those 2 flags fly. Second down and 17, pressure, and another hold with no flag again.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. There was a jersey grab that time.
And if you're the EA players right here, you have got to keep your composure.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with the call, disagree with the call, you've got to just say, okay, they did not throw the flag. I cannot yell at the ref. I've got to just get back and play, because you just put them in 3rd and about 18. You have a chance to get off the field right now. Don't do anything that's going to influence it the other way.
And the thing that you got to do is maintain your integrity and keep your lanes on defense, because what have we seen on 3rd down and long already twice here?
Munoz.
You've seen Munoz keep it and just find a big hole up the middle.
I'd be surprised if we didn't see, there's.
He's trying to set it up, but now he's under pressure. He's just trying to improvise right now so he can run, and now throws a deep pass downfield, and he got free, and it's a first down and goal. So he kind of improvised, was looking for a lane. There is a flag back here. I wonder if this is a makeup hold.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Flag on the play.
Pass was caught by Celestine, number 0. I think he was trying to find an opportunity to run, but then Celestine broke, and he was able to make a play. And it's coming
another
back.
Ineligible man downfield.
Wow.
They're
all over the ineligible players downfield. They've missed a couple of holds.
And sometimes it is hard to see the holds when you're trying to watch these linemen run 10 yards down the field, and you're. But so far, I mean, EA is doing a very good job of helping with those, breaking up those screens, because TEURLINGS clearly they want to get those screens. They want to get those wide receiver screens. They want to get those screens over the middle. But EA is playing very disciplined so far and not just giving into the eye candy backfield. And Jace Campbell right there, once again, pursuing the quarterback. And I would be shocked if they don't do some type of spy or contain rush here. Yeah, there it is. There's a spy in the middle.
And there's a pass completed and taken down. That was Evans, and tackled by number 59, Taylor Jarvis.
Brought down by number 96, John Brown.
Also John Brown. Excuse me, that was John Brown, not Jarvis.
Yeah, good. Once again, they had the spy in the middle right there. Did a great job of just they wanted the screen. I mean, when it's 3rd down and 28, you can only do so much. But good defensive stand there by EA.
Now, Deron McZeal returned a punt for a touchdown a couple of weeks ago against Prairieville. He's going to be the Spartan back to receive this punt about halfway through this second quarter. And it's going to be a short punt, and it's going to take a bounce.
Touch that ball.
He thought about going for it because that was a That was a slow, high bounce, and I think he may have considered it, but he probably made the wise choice right there. And so with 6:19 left to go, it's still 7-0. Teurlings with the lead. And if you're East Ascension, even though you're trailing, you got to be happy right now, because when we may look at it later, some of the results that Teurlings has had on their 7-0 run, they have destroyed some opponents. They've scored 30, 40 frequently.
Yeah, I mean, Teurlings has a good offense, and you've seen it out here today. They've moved the ball very well against EA. Both times the ball ended up in East Ascension territory, once a touchdown, and now they just had to back it up and do the punt there. But, I mean, Teurlings is moving the football.
Yeah.
EA just so far 2 very good defenses, and you've got to give credit to EA. They're playing so disciplined right now against this team, because Teurlings is all about the misdirection, the screens, the eye candy, and they're really doing a good job of not falling for it.
And I think they just baited Teurlings into an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
Really?
Yeah, you can see them marking down some numbers on their notepads. The late flag came in after the play. And let's see. Initially, it looked like they were excited about it, so personal foul against the Rebels. So 1st and 10.
That was a good catch there, man. EA players were excited, and when you have games like this that are tough and gritty, especially in those trenches, it can get a little bit testy in there when you're hitting each other every single play, because there's been a lot of runs on both sides so far.
First down at the 34-yard line.
Ball's at the 34. In the backfield, you got Jeremiah Wilson with Gotro right now. And Wilson keeps it. Tried to get outside, but he's not going to get there. Number 30, Seth Miller, from his left outside linebacker spot, makes the tackle. No gain on the play.
Tackled by Frugier and Miller.
Just trying to get around the edge. You know, you got 6 minutes left, and EA at this point, you want to take this clock down to as far as you can and try to get points. But even if you can't get points, you do not want to get the ball back to Teurlings and let them try to score before the half.
Teurlings deferred, so you don't want to give them a situation where they can get the last drive of the first half and the first drive of the second half. Catch is made and kind of backtracks, tried to find a hole, and that oftentimes does not work, and it did not right there. Catch is made by Caleb Davis, number 5, but didn't hurt him that badly. It's still going to be 3rd down and 4.
I think he got back to the point he caught it, but things like that, you know, he is a senior, but you just want to tell him, hey, just catch it and fall forward. Get the 8 yards. Make this not just a 3rd and 5. Make it a 3rd and 3.
And a handoff up the middle, and running into his own guy, and breaking free, and it's a first down. The ball's on the ground. And it's still being kicked downfield, and a fight for it. Still fighting. East Ascension has it at the 20.
Blackburn on the carry.
That was some wild action right there. That ball, it looked like the old holy roller play that the Raiders had in the late 70s. But recovery made by East Ascension, and now they're close to the red zone. Ball at the 21-yard line. That could have been a disaster. Turns into the best play of the night for the Spartans.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot put the ball on the ground. I talked to the coach before the game. He said one of their number one things they've worked on, you cannot put the ball on the ground, and it happens right there. Thank goodness they came up with it. But
Wilson into the red zone, ball down to about the 17. He's going to get 4 yards. Looks like he's tackled down there by number 44, Matt Davis, for Teurlings Catholic.
That was a good little run right there, and 4 minutes left. EA just right here. Play composed. You are in field goal range. You have one of the best kickers in the state. Right now, just focus. Do not turn the ball over is what he is saying. It looks like they picked him again, the left tackle. Very excited about it.
Yeah, Martinez, earlier tonight he got burned by Frugier. He got kind of beaten his tracks earlier, so I'm sure he's happy about getting those guys to jump on that right side of the Teurlings line.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be, 2nd and 1 now. So
yeah, it looks like 2 is going to be the call. They're down to the 13. They got to get almost to the 11.
They're in a place right now. They can have a choice. They can go for the end zone right here, or they could just try for the first down to keep chewing more clock.
Yeah. Fake. McZeal. Fake. 10. 5. down to the 3, maybe the 2, 1st and goal for the Spartans.
Get it to your playmakers in space. You said it before the game. They wanted to get it to McZeal, and they've done a great job at that. And so far, we now have 3:30 left, and EA's knocking on the door to tie this game.
Maybe the only thing that might be a negative on this drive for East Ascension is that you can't use the entire clock. That fumble that went 30 yards downfield kind of took that opportunity away. 1st and goal, Wilson.
He looks like he's in.
Touchdown, East Ascension. And it's 7-6. And with 3:07 left to go before halftime, East Ascension might be able to tie it up right here.
So just watch the big boys once again. They do the same thing. They pull a tackle, pull a guard, just push that line, that 2 yards that they needed, got that touchdown. EA coming out, matching up with this Teurlings Catholic team that's been blowing out everybody and going toe-to-toe with them.
This is very encouraging for Spartans fans as they're going to try to tie it up. Preston Baker with the extra point. And it is up, and it is good, and we're tied at 7 with 3:07 left to go before halftime. We're going to take a break. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Welcome back, and we have a fun one here as Deron McZeal on the carry, or excuse me, not Deron McZeal, the running back Wilson after a passing catch by Deron McZeal that got them down to the 2. And now it's 7-7, and East Ascension trying to stay alive and keep the upset hopes alive as you kick off. And it's back right to the end zone, and they'll take it at the 1. And a big hole, and he cuts outside. And this is Viltz and a shoestring tackle made by number 23, Jarvis, and then a late flag as you're going to have some contact after the play. And I was looking down to check the number.
Wiltz returns 50 yards.
Did you see what happened there? Tell us.
So it looked like on Teurlings, number 54, they had pinned down. I don't know if that was the kicker that they had pinned down, but they had 2 players on top of him just continuing to pin him, and even after the whistle was blown. So that's going to be 15 yards from the end of that run, which helps EA a ton. That's going to put them back to where I think the drive's going to start somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah.
But just an unsportsmanlike conduct right there. That was a frustration penalty.
That was Alex Richard, number 54, for Teurlings Catholic. And so the ball was at midfield after the return by Celestine, but now they're going to push it back. And this is a very encouraging first half for East Ascension, but this is where it gets kind of delicate, if you understand what I'm saying, because they got 2:59 left to go, and they get the second half kickoff. So you don't want to give up points here at the end of the first half because it could be 21-7 before you get the ball in the third quarter if that actually happens.
Yeah, they right now they need to just focus on a good big run around the right side. EA needs to focus on keeping that clock moving and not letting them get first down. So that right now, good start with Teurlings right there, but EA, they need to keep that clock moving and keep them off of first downs. I don't know how good Teurlings' kicker is, but they need to stop because right now they have the momentum going into the second half.
Cawthor on the carry right there. He gets the penalty yardage back, so now they're basically where they started after the kick return. And so first down and not much as Viltz is tackled by number 51. That's Viltz is tackled by Wiltz. Joe Shane Wiltz is going to tackle Viltz.
Sounds like a
Viltz with a V on the carry. Wiltz with a W makes the tackle.
That sounds like a joke somewhere.
Yeah.
Wiltz to Wiltz. Wiltz to Viltz. Good tackle right there.
2nd and 10 and a little shovel pass inside and a first down and then some. Takes the corner 20, and in the red zone, number 17 for Teurlings, Viator.
Again. Good little pitch around the left side, and good blocking in the open field by Teurlings.
Yep, and they're right at the red zone at the 20-yard line. So 155, and this is what you didn't want to happen if you're East Ascension, because, like I said, they'll receive the second half kickoff. You don't want to give up points here and points at the beginning of the second half. Viltz on the carry, 94, grabs him, Jameer Smith. So that's going to be a loss.
He came on that left side, and Smith got off his block, and that running back stopped dead in his tracks whenever that man was right in front of him. So big play right there by EA to give them a second and long.
East Ascension is daring them to run, daring them to pass with this defensive line, but they're saying, nah, we're good, and they do it again. And so now that's Viltz, and that little swing pass to the 10, and he's going to score a touchdown, and Teurlings very quickly answers the East Ascension touchdown.
So a blown assignment right there by Campbell. We were bragging on him earlier, but he goes and tries to jump that route and just way too far in the backfield, and just an easy, quick swing pass to the right side. And now EA with 1:21 left, they have to decide. We'll see how far they can get. They've had several good returns so far.
Yeah.
So if they can get a good return, EA only needs 20 yards to get a field goal. So we'll see if they're able to get that and get some more points on the board. But good play right there by the Teurlings Catholic.
It's good, and it's 14-7 with 1:21 left before halftime. We will take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzales. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
Quarter sponsor.
It's 14-7 Teurlings, as we have back-to-back scores in just a couple of minutes of playtime. Jeff Porsche, Jonathan Moore with you. And East Ascension will try to score before halftime, and they have to do that because, like I said, this is what happens when you defer. Teurlings gets the ball to start the second half, so East Ascension has to answer in a short amount of time.
Yeah, Teurlings found something that worked the last few drives with those little swing passes to the outside, and able to get the ball to Viator in space and able to get the ball in space to Viltz. And EA needs an answer right here.
And it's picked up at about the 7-yard line by Blackburn, and he's got a big hole. He's got one man to beat. He beat him. He's going to score. 30, 20, 10. No flags. Touchdown, East Ascension.
Takes it all the way back.
14-13.
You couldn't have scripted an answer any better right there for EA. And now we have a flag after the play.
Probably a celebration.
But you could not have scripted that any better.
Nope.
Great return. Way to take the momentum back. Now the flag at the end, just a dumb penalty. I don't know if it's on Teurlings or EA, but if it's against EA, that's going to make this extra point. Let's see.
It's likely a celebration.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, I think he's signaling unsportsmanlike conduct. So
now, you said that was a perfect answer. The only problem with that is now there's 1:09 left to go for Teurlings.
There is, but if you're EA, you've got to just, all right, that looks like he's going to give us the signal now. It is a good touchdown. It is unsportsmanlike against EA. And it'll be on the kickoff. So now Teurlings is going to get a free 15 on the kickoff. So now EA is going to be kicking off from the 20-yard line or 25-yard line. So Teurlings is going to get the ball in great field position with 1:09 left. So you're right, it sets up a terrible situation for EA.
But the extra point is good, and it's 14-14 with 1:09 left to go. Now we'll see if that penalty is assessed on the kickoff. And now Teurlings has an opportunity, so we'll see what happens there. But let's take a look while we have a chance at some of the games that are going to be happening next week on the Rev Game of the Weekend and elsewhere. Dutchtown at East Ascension, that's going to be one of the games of the week. Sandoval at Prairieville. I'll be out there for that game. You're going to be joining me as well. That's awesome. Walker is going to be at Denham Springs, the Livingston Parish matchup of the week. Live Oak gets the odd number game, I guess, non-district, and they're going to take on Macomb, Mississippi. And so that's what we're looking forward to next week. And as I said, Dutchtown East Ascension and Prairieville Sandoval will be our Rev games, plural, of the week. And now this is what we're talking about. The penalty assessed means that they're going to kick off from the 25-yard line. So there's still a chance, a pretty good chance, considering the offense that Teurlings puts out there and a guy like Viltz and a quarterback like Munoz. They have an opportunity to grab that lead again before halftime.
And so if you're Coach Mathern, this is what you're going to talk to your team about. That's why you can't commit penalties like that for whenever that happens, because now look at them. They've got the ball at the 39-yard line. They have great field position. You cannot commit mental errors like that in a game like this. This is a 14-14 game. You're playing the number one team in 4A.
Right.
You have to be your best to beat this team. And when you make a mistake like that, it puts your defense and it puts your team in a horrible position, because you've said it before. They get the ball back at halftime.
Yeah. And the return by Viltz is to the 39. And I want to look at that. Maybe I'm going to look at that at halftime, what happened at the end of the play, if we have a copy of that, because this happened last week in the Denham Springs Dutchtown game. Denham Springs scored on a long touchdown run, and at the end of the run, he turned up and looked up to the sky and pointed to the sky, and they called an unsportsmanlike penalty against him because of that. So I want to see if it was a legit penalty, first of all, and that should have been picked right there.
Yeah.
That was Ernest Mitchell. He had that played all the way.
That's the guy who is tied for the lead in the state with interceptions, and I mean, I guess the ball was just thrown so perfectly to him, he didn't know what to do. But good defense right there. But you saw the play. That they have a chance to score before this half. There's 55 seconds left. EA cannot let them score if they want to keep the momentum going into the second half.
I think they tried to do a little trick right there and tried to surprise East Ascension, who may have been looking for a run with Viltz right there, or maybe a little swing pass, because that's been the majority of their offense here today. And pressure, screen set up. First down. And into East Ascension territory. That's number 9, Jack Purser, with the carry and with the catch and run.
That
was a good open field tackle by Jupiter. 48 seconds left. They're in EA territory now. I don't know, and maybe we have some info on how good the Teurlings kicker is, but they have a chance to score here.
Well, it's been an interesting second quarter. In the first quarter, Teurlings Catholic scored on a short run by Doug Viltz, and that was the only scoring of the first quarter. And then you went about 8 or 9 minutes with no points in the second quarter, and then late in the second quarter, after a fumble that went about 30 yards downfield in positive direction for East Ascension, that got them almost to the red zone, they were able to capitalize on that and then had a touchdown run by Jeremiah Wilson. That made it 7-7. But Teurlings went right down the field and completed a little swing pass to Viltz that made it 14-7. But then right after that, you had Blackburn with the kick return for a touchdown. That's where we stand right now. So you've had 3 touchdowns in about a 2-minute span.
Yeah, we thought this has been a defensive wide open over the middle.
Yep. So that's Celestine. But it was a good defensive struggle for a while, but then until it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, we've had more offense in the last 3 minutes, like you said, than we've had the whole game thus far. And EA, who was holding them to 2-yard gains and tackles for a loss, has given up probably 5 big pass plays in the last 3 minutes, so it's interesting.
Teurlings did not call a timeout right there. They still have 2 in their pockets, and they're looking for the little pass inside. That's Viator again. They'll probably call a timeout right here. If I were them, I would, and it looks like that's exactly what they did. And so the second timeout is called, so they just have 1 left. 23 seconds left to go, as you see on the replay. our Rev game of the week, we talked about that coming up next week, and we told you who they were. Let's take a look at the graphic for the rest of our regular season. You got Rev Sports 1 and you got Rev Sports 2. Subscribe to both on YouTube. Next week on Rev Sports 1, Dutchtown at East Ascension. On Rev Sports 2, you got Santa Maud Prairieville, and it's number 2 on the schedule, but number 1 in our hearts. We'll be there next week. And then 2 weeks from now, on Thursday, you've got Live Oak at Dutchtown. Then on Friday, also on Rev Sports 1, you have homecoming for Prairieville, St. Thomas Aquinas at Prairieville. And then on Rev Sports 2 on Friday, you got Patterson at Donaldsonville. So 2 weeks from now, you got 1 Thursday and 2 Friday. And that's going to be the rest of our regular season for football.
Yeah, having that ref shortage, having games on Thursdays, it's still a little strange getting used to that.
Yeah, the game last night at Prairieville was a Thursday night game, and they like doing it in Livingston Parish, but very rarely do you see it in Ascension Parish, but they did it, and they're going to do it again next week.
Yeah, I was
or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I was there last night, and it was the Denham fans do like it.
Yep, you don't have to travel much on Friday night. That pass wisely thrown out of bounds. And you had Ragus and Landry there on the penetration for East Ascension.
Now it's 3rd and 4, 17 seconds. I mean, they can get the touch. They can get the first down, and then they'd have 3 shots to get it in the end zone before they need to kick a field goal. But
sometimes you see the quarterback Munoz on 3rd down try to scramble for a first down. One thing I'm going to look for, too, is that it'll swing right or make it swing left because of where they are on the field. Maybe swing it left potentially to Viltz and see if he can make some moves in space. That's kind of what I would anticipate right here. We'll see if I'm any good at that.
And it looks like, they got some motion. Yep, looking for.
Oh, they faked it. They faked it, and they faked everybody out. It's a touchdown. That play was left all the way, and then all of a sudden they turned right, and number 9, Jack Purser, cruises into the end zone for the easy touchdown.
Yeah, just a good play design right there. I mean, they got everybody looking to the left side of the line, left side of the field, and then turned around for a quick swing screen to the flat. And, I mean, just good play design right there by Teurlings Catholic for another touchdown.
And now the extra point coming. Number 16, Logan Boudreau to kick for Teurlings, and nearly got Drew McZeal on the block, but he did not. And it's good, and it's 21-14 with 12 seconds left to go. And I mentioned this 3 scores ago, but this is East Ascension's worst nightmare right here because you had a chance to keep it tied going into the half, and now you could be in a situation if you don't return this kick for a touchdown, you might be down 2 scores before you have a legitimate offensive possession.
Yeah, it's just a tough drive right there. EA's defense, they held out, but you just gave up some huge plays in the past. They've done a very good job of stopping the run, minus the quarterback sneaks. Very good job of playing the run. But what has happened is Teurlings playing that run and getting them to watch those plays in the backfield with the play actions, and it's set up these swing passes, it's set up these screens, and now it's getting them those chunk yardage plays that they want. So they've got to play more discipline. Coming out of the half, they have got to play more disciplined.
That was a beautiful play that got them the touchdown right there by Purser because everybody was looking left as I was. That's a little squib kick, and it's bobbled. Now it's picked up with 8 seconds left, as they'll get maybe a snap or 2 before you get to halftime as you see the replay. But what I was saying about that play was everybody was looking left. I even suspected that play was going left, and they faked it left. And meanwhile, while everybody was looking left, they kind of snuck a couple of offensive linemen right and kind of set up the convoy for the tight end on the little quick pass.
Yeah, sometimes you just keep your offense, we're going to keep it meat and potatoes. We're just going to go left, we're going to go right. But when you want to do those misdirection plays after you've set them up, that shows you how effective they could be. I mean, they could have run that play on the 20 in their territory, and they could have taken that 80 yards for a touchdown. So good touchdown play right there.
Gautreaux rolls left, and the Hail Mary pass downfield, up for grabs, picked off. as the clock runs to 0, and don't let them get in the end zone. They do not.
Yeah.
But that interception by number 4, Chandler Hewlin, the strong safety, makes the play as you look on the replay right here. And that will get us to halftime. And Teurlings leads 21-14. It's been a fun first half. Now we'll get to the halftime show. And after the halftime show, we'll have a presentation from EA TV, which you don't want to miss. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But right now, we'll take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Mark your calendars for the first annual City of Gonzales Fall Fest. Join us on Sunday, October 27th at the Chrysler Law Pace Center from noon to 4 p.m. Enjoy a fantastic range of free fall activities and be entertained by the soulful sounds of Jamel Richardson. It's an event full of fun and music that you won't want to miss.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Let's hear it for the Rebel Review.
It's halftime at East Ascension. Our score 21-14. Teurlings leads East Ascension. You just saw the tail end of the presentation from the Rebel Review, which is the Teurlings High School dance team. And so now we're going to get a halftime performance from the East Ascension Band, and you see Charles Lee, the director of the EA Band, crossing over from midfield to take his spot on the ladder. But it's been a fun first half. Actually, that's not going to be Charles Lee. That's I guess Charles is over there on the other side already. And so anyway, enough about that. We're going to get the performance from the East Ascension Band, and then we'll get a presentation from the East Ascension students, who call themselves EATV, who are going to talk about the winter sports season here at East Ascension High School as we wait for the band to set up. Now we have Charles Lee coming across. And so we're just waiting for everything to begin. That was Mr. Gambino.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to halftime at Spartan Stadium. Tonight, the Pride of EA Band and Color Guard are back at it again with the fusion of Zydeco and hip-hop. Please welcome drum majors Colin Lepore, London Keller, and Megan Jackson to the podium. Back by popular demand, the band presents our favorite line dance. We know you like it too, so get up on your feet for this Keith Frank and Little Boosie combo on Haters. Mr. Jackson, take it away. The Pride of EA Band and Color Guard. Let's welcome our dazzling Spartanettes to the field. Now, this may not be a Taylor Swift concert, and you won't hear Hot to Go from Chapel Roan tonight, but we do love some Olivia Rodrigo. We hope this is good for you. the Spartanettes and the pride of EA.
With the football regular season winding down, head coaches for the winter sports on the EA campus are busy preparing for their upcoming seasons. EA TV recently spoke with a few of those coaches.
Try to find a balance of staying fit, staying fresh, but also not burning them out. Knowing they have soccer PE. So we did twice a week workouts. We did a couple scrimmages. We were in the weight room. We did some explosive training, speed and agility. Last season was a great year. We finished 19 in the state. We made it to the second round, had a home game for the second round, and the girls were really excited. From the first workout last summer, I noticed a difference in this group. And they started challenging each other, holding each other accountable. And that's exactly why we had such a great year last year, because they stepped up, they led the team appropriately and positively, and still pushing each other. And I expect them to do an even better job their senior year. They're not thinking of it as my last year. Like it's not all about them. It's about the program. So they just want to leave their legacy, and they are thinking about how do they want to be remembered as leaders and teammates.
I think one of the biggest factors for this preseason is the inclusion of Coach Eric Davis, previously with the track team. So he's doing a lot of our fitness, he's doing a lot of our speed, all of the conditioning. We're going through all that, and it's one of the things that we were missing in previous years. So that is going to help us. That is helping everyone. That's part of that pie, part of everything, the whole package that we needed to have a successful season down the road. We can expect to see the ball on the ground. Our style of play is based on receiving the ball on the ground, looking at our players, and trying to combine with a higher number of players to run the ball. That is the style of play that we've been trying to develop in the last 2 or 3 years. And I think even from the freshmen, when you see him play, we get away from kicking the ball away or kicking a long ball, as opposed to keeping the ball on the ground, just like the bigger team plays. So that is one of the things that I expect the fans to see and to like. And the other thing is they're going to see the community on the field. We got kids from all over the place. We got that's EA. Our community, Hispanic, African American, white kids, man, all of them. That's us. We're a big pot. That's what they're going to see.
I'm here with Coach Connor Callworth, the boys wrestling head coach. Coach, how's the offseason going so far?
The offseason is going very well. We had a couple new additions to the team that are going to be game changers in the lineup for this year, and having a couple returning state placers, one being Braylon Stewart, is coming in, and he got third place this past year, and he should be making a run, him and Aiden Crass, for a state title, which I'm excited about.
Coach, what should Spartan fans expect heading into this next season?
The Spartan fans should expect a hard team. We've been solid for the last few years now. Pushing for a state title run is always in the cards. Pushing for a city championship like we did last year, and then winning district again like we did last year. That's what they should expect, winning.
Thank you, Coach.
As athletic training staffs, we have to worry about just pretty much what's going on in the environment and everything like that. So hydration is still going to be a major key. In South Louisiana, we still have a lot of humidity and everything going on like that. So making sure our athletes know whether it's hot or cold, they still have to continue hydrating for us. Our schedules look a little bit hectic whenever seasons are starting to intertwine like that in the winter. From football and volleyball, we then start transitioning into girls and boys basketball, and then we start going into wrestling and girls and boys soccer as well. So it gets kind of hectic between the month of November with all sports crossing from fall to winter. But it's a nice change of atmosphere. We've been around the football, volleyball, and cross-country kids since July, but moving into November and December, we start seeing those basketball and soccer athletes, and it's just a nice change of pace.
This off season has went smoothly. Of course, at a school like this where we share athletes, football and basketball, we kind of worked along with those guys, some of those football players with 7-on-7 and basketball. So everybody's bought in. It's going well. The preseason is going pretty well. We're tired of beating up on each other right now. We're ready to get after it a little bit. Spartan fans can expect a very high energy, high tempo brand of basketball this year. I think that we have a pretty good group of seniors and underclassmen as well. I think you should be able to come to the game and watch us play a good brand of basketball. We're gonna try to play up tempo. We're gonna try to get in your face, and that's it.
For those viewers who may not know, EATV was started in 2022 by Eric Brownfield and was founded through REV's Reach a Kid, Teach a Kid grant program. The Reach a Kid, Teach a Kid grant program was founded over 20 years ago and awarded private and public school teachers in Ascension Parish with $500 grants to fund their creative ideas in the classroom. Over the years, the program awarded over $100,000 to teachers of all grade levels, K through 12, and helped make a lasting impression on local students and educators, encouraging creative thinking on all sides of the classroom. REV's continued commitment to supporting K through 12 education has taken many forms over the years as the local communications provider seeks new ways to directly support students. So thank you very much to REV and to EATV. We're still at halftime here at Spartan Stadium. Our score, Teurlings Catholic 21, East Ascension 14. We are going to take a break and come back. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week. I'm Jeff Porsche. Jonathan Moore will be joining us again in just a moment. But our score here at halftime, Teurlings 21, East Ascension 14. Kind of an offensive explosion in the closing minutes of the first half. Teurlings Catholic had a 7-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, as they scored on their opening drive on a 1-yard run by Doug Viltz. And that was kind of where it was till about 3 minutes or so, 2 to 3 minutes left to go before halftime. And right before halftime, Jeremiah Wilson scored on a touchdown run for East Ascension, and they tied the score at 7. But right after the kickoff, Teurlings Catholic drove down the field very quickly and scored on a swing pass from Alex Munoz to Doug Viltz. And then that made the score 14-7 with about a minute and a half left to go before halftime. But the kickoff went to Jason Blackburn for East Ascension. He returned it all the way for a touchdown, and so again we were tied up at 14. But the thing was, East Ascension left enough time on the clock for Teurlings Catholic to go downfield one final time. And so in the closing seconds of the first half, the quarterback, Munoz, completed the little short pass to Purser, a little misdirection play, and was able to go about 10 yards for a touchdown. And then that was the final score of the first half, as the first half ended in an interception by Teurlings Catholic. But that is where we stand right now with our score at halftime. Teurlings 21 and East Ascension 14 And so we are about less than a minute or so from both teams taking the field and then getting ready for our second half kickoff. And this is going to be the most pivotal, maybe the most important few minutes or series of this ball game, because as we said, East Ascension received the opening kickoff because Teurlings won the toss and deferred. And so Teurlings is trying to go for that 1-and-1 that you see when teams defer the kickoff in the first half, because they scored on the final possession of the first half and they have a chance to score a second touchdown at the beginning of the second half. So as I said, at the end of the first half, when East Ascension's offense left the field, they were tied, but when they get back on the field, they could potentially be down 2 scores. So this is the big moment for East Ascension to make a stand.
Yeah, this is it's a big moment for them. They've got to come out and play defense right here, because you have to stop them. This is so far they have not shown that they've been able to score every time with Teurlings Catholic. They had the big kick return, but offensively, with the exception of that one drive, they've had 2 other drives ended in a punt, ended in a missed field goal. They need to make a stop, because you don't want to get into a scoring contest with Teurlings Catholic.
No, and their running back, Doug Viltz, has carried the load here today. He has done a good job. He has scored 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air. And so that's he's been kind of the star here of tonight. And we'll see what he does in the second half. But while we are waiting for the second half to begin, we can talk about 5A and 4A, because this is a non-district matchup. And you have the 5A teams right there to represent the East Ascension side. East Ascension is not in the top 10. None of the teams in Ascension or Livingston are in the top 10, but number 1 is Carr, because Ruston lost last week. They lost to Neville, and Neville moved up to number 2. Ruston's at number 3, Acadiana 4, Catholic High 5, Ash is 7-0, Zachary number 7 at 5-1. Rummel is at number 8 at 6-1. John Curtis, number 9 at 4-2. And then at number 10, you got Mandeville and Airline both tied with a 7-0 record. And then turning it over to the top teams in the 4A classification. And look who's number 1, Teurlings Catholic. They're trying to hold, serve, and keep that number 1 ranking. North DeSoto up in northwest Louisiana is 5-2. They're number 2. And then you have Lutcher. You know about Lutcher. They are 6-0. No big surprise there. They always seem to win state championships. St. Thomas More. You know about St. Thomas More, but look at that record, 4-3. They aren't the team that we're used to seeing right there. E.D. White, they're a good team. They play in that same district with Lutcher. They're 5-2. Cecilia. Or maybe let's go back to Shaw, though. Number 6 is Shaw. They beat Walker 59-14 last week. That was a 5A win, big one. Cecilia, 5-2. They are number 7. Opelousas, the defending state champions, they are 3-3. Franklin Parish is 6-1, and then you have number 10, Franklinton. They are also 6-1. So Teurlings trying to stay number 1 in 4A, and we also have some scores that we can share with you while we wait for the second half to begin. The last score we got over at Sandoval was that Live Oak was leading 10-0. The last score I got at Walker in the big matchup between Walker and Dutchtown, Walker was winning, but Dutchtown has made a little bit of a comeback. They now trail 21-17, and so the other 2 teams playing tonight in Ascension Parish are trailing right now. So everybody in Ascension Parish is down, and we'll see what they can do in the second half.
Yeah, we get to see, one of the things Coach Mathern talked about was the difference between EA this year and last year has been their mental toughness. Last week when they played Sandoval, they went down 14-0 the first 2 minutes, but they didn't get their heads out of the game, and they stayed in it, and it came down to the wire. Can they have that same mentality this week?
Second half is underway. And it's going to get down to about the 1 yard line again. And that is Viltz, and a good job by number 31 for East Ascension, making the tackle right there, the Landon Neighbor.
Number 32, Carson Landry on the tackle of Viltz.
And so you're going to see 1st and 10 for Teurlings. And you've seen both teams have nice kick returns. You have the kick return for a touchdown by Blackburn for East Ascension, but in most situations here tonight, both teams have gotten the ball past the 30, close to midfield, or gotten into the end zone. So this is by far kind of the worst field position we've seen a series after a kickoff here tonight.
Yeah, they've started they've gotten into EA territory within 1 or 2 plays every single drive just about. So
number 1, Evans on the carry.
They couldn't start off the kickoff any better, getting them pinned on the 20.
And you see Tony Miles, number 22, with the leg tackle right there.
6 for the Rebels.
After a short gain of about 4, it's going to be 2nd down and 6. And you see some new people in there in the backfield. You have Carson Evans, who kind of works back there, number 1, and then you got a couple of other people in the backfield. And that is Evans, and going to be taken down by McZeal and Miles. After a short gain, it's going to be 3rd down and about 4 for the Rebels.
Yeah, just a good little solid run right there. EA, and we've said it a bunch of times, but now it's 3rd and 5. This is a huge play, because if you can stop them here, get down and score and tie this game up,
3rd down, 4
that's going to help you regain that momentum, and then you'll be able to carry that back in the defense.
And now Viltz is back in the game, and he's going to get the option pitch, and he's got a 1st down. And looked like the first contact down there was by Dawson Landry, and then he breaks that tackle and then gets out of bounds.
On the carry around the
they
right
save
side,
Viltz for 3rd down, and he gets the 1st down yardage.
Number 13,
yeah,
Dawson
it's never
Landry,
a good thing when your DBs,
Mitchell.
especially your safeties, having to come up and make tackles in the run, and they just
down,
get to
Rebels.
that 2nd level, and even though it's only a 7-8 yard gain, it gets them that 1st down. But a good play design right there, running that speed option to the side. Teurlings just moving the ball, methodical, and running that faster-paced offense, that no-huddle offense.
Got 2 backs in the backfield again with Munoz and a man in motion. And that's a handoff up the middle for about 5 yards. Good gain there on 1st down for the Rebels.
John
as that's a
Brown
new
and
back
Mitchell on the stop.
in the game, number 2 for the Rebels. And
Number 2,
that's
Jack
Letchworth.
Jack Letchworth.
They say, is that
Letchworth?
Letchworth?
Yeah.
It's a name right there.
Letchworth with
He's
the carry.
Senior running back, and I mean, when I talked with Coach before the game, he said that they had 2 running backs that they were going to lean on heavily, and now apparently they have 3 because
that's Viltz. We know they're going to lean on him. He's carried the mail
Rebel
today with a lot of
47-yard
success.
line for a
and
first
they
down.
keep running heavily on that left side
Campbell
where
and McZeal
you see
on
they
the
got
stop
big number
for the Spartans.
76 Gresham Perry and number 74 Drake Perry, and they are related right there. And one of them, I believe, is already a commit to a college, and the other one probably will commit whenever he gets to be a senior. So, I mean, one's a junior, one's a senior, and Coach said before the game, Coach Dane told me those 2 guys are who they were going to lean on.
You've seen Perry kind of in motion as kind of a tight end a couple of times as well. And that's Viltz. And number 42 is going to get him Ragus
Viltz on the carry,
after a short gain.
And right there, you saw him pull Perry, and you saw him pull him off that left tackle position, sitting around that right side, and kind of doing the same thing that EA did. They're just matching up, man. We're not going to run a zone against you. We're just going to run a halfback power, pull the guard, and good run right there. Even though it was only 3 yards, just a good solid run to continue to wear down that EA front.
And this clock is just melting away. They do kind of play in a hurry, but they've already run about 3.5 minutes off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. If they can make it a 2-score game and run a lot of clock, this is going to put EA in a big hole. They're close to midfield right now. Is that Letchworth?
Number 1.
Oh, actually 1. No, that was Evans. Okay, yes, that was Evans.
Jupiter and Ragus
Yeah, it came around the right side, and you're right. They're just eating the clock. And this offense, the advantage that it has, they see that if EA tries to do a quick substitution, they can get to the line and run a play very quickly. And it's not a lot of complicated formations and not a lot of complicated schemes. It's very simple, but the whole point of the scheme is to put EA in a position where they face a dilemma. Do we let this guy go? Do I leave this assignment to cover this player? And so it's just a good offense.
3rd and 4. And that's going to be a first down. The ball's on the ground, and it's picked up. I think that's going to be ruled down.
Yeah, they put it down. But risky play right there, reaching out like that. I mean, you don't want to do that very often, especially with a team like EA who they've already tried to punch it out a few times.
From the 42.
Teurlings recovered the fumble, but I think that he was just probably reaching out, and that probably was not a fumble, as Viltz will carry again. Seems like Viltz, at this point, Viltz is kind of splitting the load. He's kind of got a 50-50 share in the backfield right now. He was getting about a 90-10 share in the first half, so he's probably a little tired, and they're probably trying to conserve him a little bit.
They have a coach about 12 yards on the field for EA. I don't know what he's doing, but
he's trying to bark some signals out to somebody. As you see that 5, maybe 6-man front sometimes again, and that's going to be Munoz with the option pitch, and that's Viltz with another first down and just cruises out of bounds after the big gain.
And I think we see what he was trying to bark. I don't think he was happy with the contain on that right side. Or the left side of the defensive line, the right side of the offense, but just another good speed option to the edge and easy pitch and catch right there for a first down. So EA starting to wear down a little bit. I mean, they've already had the ball 6 minutes in the second half. So
yep, about 5-11, and it stops with the run out of bounds. But your point's well taken, absolutely. And that's Munoz up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and it's down inside the 10 to the 5. It looks like the far side, or I guess maybe the near side, they're going to say about the 7-yard line. But a good run right there.
The Teurlings offense is rolling now. Yep. I mean, they are right now getting anything they want. They are moving the ball at will. And this is what happens when you have an offense that's built like this that wants to just wear down the opponent. Those 2- and 3-yard gains in the first half are now turning into 4-, 6-, 8-yard gains in the second half.
And no negative plays.
No.
That's the key right there. You don't find yourself behind the chains with 2nd down and 12 or 3rd and long.
Yeah, no negative plays and no turnovers.
And is that a touchdown?
He's going to say
it looks like
down
he's saying he's down.
The
yes, he's down. That's Viltz on the carry. And the near side official had a great view of it.
Yeah. So you're right, no negative plays. And then their coach shared with me, Coach Dane shared with me before the game, they've had no turnovers this whole year.
Wow. Well, they're not going to get in the end zone. That's not a negative play, but that's going to be stood up by number 20, Jace Campbell.
Good.
And they're not going to say there's no flag, I don't think. No, because like you kind of took them down a little hard at the end, but that's football right there.
It's gotten a little chippy out here. Both teams have been playing very physical, and after the play, we've seen a few EA players fly. We've seen a few Teurlings gather. Referees have done a good job of controlling it. We have had a couple of personal fouls thrown, but this game doesn't look like it's going to get away from the refs. But if that keeps happening, you'll see them start to throw a few flags after the play.
We are now approaching the 7-minute mark of this drive. 5:08 left to go. So after this play, we're going to hit 7 minutes on this drive. 3rd down and goal from the 2. Flag, and this might be the negative play.
Yeah.
I didn't see if they got the play off on time or not.
I don't know if it was maybe a legal procedure or a false start.
Looking for the white cap. There he is.
Offside.
Oh, that is a positive play for Teurlings. So they're going to get that 1 yard loss back on that 2nd and goal run. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line.
3rd and goal from the 1.
And they put, oh man, it looks like we might get the tush push right here. Yep.
And that's Munoz and did not get it. Munoz didn't get it. That's 4th down.
I mean,
let's look at this right here.
Look
at that great shot right there.
That's
and he went nowhere.
600 pounds behind the quarterback. I think we might get a face mask here.
And that's Jace Campbell that made the tackle.
Maybe after the play we might get a personal foul.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they threw a flag after the play. The referee talking about EA got away with a face mask right there on the tackle. So we're going to see right now what they call.
Personal foul against East Ascension. So it is still 4th down. It's after the play.
Yeah.
So now you're at about you're probably about 18 inches from the end zone. No, look at where they're marking it.
Yeah.
They're marking it still at the 1. I thought he got a little closer than that, and you would have to mark it at the distance from there.
I mean, they tackled him for a loss on that play. Great job by EA to get penetration. They just got penetration and stopped 2 300-pound kids from pushing their quarterback in the end zone. That's some dedication right there. And now here we go. Let's see what Teurlings can draw up.
Play of the game. And hit and in for the touchdown is Doug Viltz.
Carries off tackle for a Teurlings
and
Catholic
that is a textbook 7-minute and 13-second drive, 7 minutes and 17-second drive to open the third quarter. And now you have that situation I was talking about where EA has not had the football offensively since about the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, and now they're down 2 touchdowns. They left the field tied. They're going to come back down 2.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of, I don't know if you remember the Patriots Giants Super Bowl. Whenever they first played, the Giants, when they came out in the second half, had that big 8-minute drive to start the quarter, and it just threw the Patriots off because you had this high-powered offense. They need the ball, and we're kind of seeing that right now. And I don't know how EA is going to respond. Their defense played tough, but they just gave up too many big plays.
We're going to take a break. It's 28-14. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzales. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. You just watched a 7-minute and 17-second drive capped off by the third touchdown of the night by Doug Viltz, and it's 28-14. And
McZeal and Dumas deep for the Spartans.
Basically, Teurlings imposed their will on that drive. I don't think there was one pass. And the kickoff is taken by Miles, and he is grabbed from behind by the face mask.
On the return, brought down
and
by
so that'll be
Rebels.
moved up to about past the 45-yard line.
So Teurlings will most likely not kick the ball normally for the rest of the game. I think EA was averaging about 50 yards of kickoff return.
Yeah.
They're probably going to squib it, but that face mask is going to give EA great field position. I mean, they're going to get it almost the 50-yard line.
East Ascension has to answer here.
Yeah.
Because they've given up touchdowns on the last 3 drives. Now, and I said that EA has not had the football offensively until about the 2-minute mark of the second quarter when the game was tied. Technically, they did have the one play with like 9 seconds left to go before the half where they threw the interception on the Hail Mary pass. But I wouldn't count that as a drive. That was just kind of a heave the ball up there and pray for the best. They're going to call this a 5-yard penalty apparently. So that looked like a personal foul.
That looked way worse.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the 5-yard, 15-yard face mask penalties. It's such a hard thing to make a judgment call on that.
Gotro gives it to Dumas, who came into the backfield from a slot, and that didn't fool anybody right there. As you see, a great job by number 5. Jackson Broussard, outside linebacker for Teurlings. No gain.
Yeah, good tackle right there, and Teurlings just using that speed to get around some of those linemen. I mean, EA has found their best success when they just line up and say, we're going to run halfback power straight at you.
Dumas in motion, back in the backfield again. Fake, pass, And it's deflected, I think, by number 43 for Teurlings. And so that's going to bring up third down. And that was Carter Maka.
Oh, great play call right there.
Yeah.
Got him with that little RPO. And if he does not tip that ball, Justin Oubre is probably down to the 20-yard line. That was a very good little just quick slant over the middle RPO. The linebackers just needed to come in about 1 or 2 more yards, and he catches that ball, and he's running down the field trying to score.
3rd and 10. Gotro looking right all the way, and he's going to have to run for it. And he does, I believe. That's caught by Oob. And so Oob will get the first down for the Spartans.
Yeah, big hit right there by Olivier, but good job getting the first down. I mean, that's the second time we've seen them get a 3rd and long, and you don't want to be in it, but so far EA has done a pretty good job of getting out of these 3rd and longs just by getting the ball into athletes' hands. One thing East Ascension is never short of is athletes.
Nope.
But in years past, they've always struggled with finding players who can get the ball into their hands, and now we have a different quarterback in there.
Yeah, that's McZeal. They're going to run the Wildcat right here most probably. And they're going to give it on the jet sweep, and that was a hard hit on Blackburn.
Blackburn on the
Broussard
carry, tackled by Broussard.
With the brutal hit.
Big hit right there. I mean, trying to do a little misdirection on the jet sweep, but big.
Form tackle.
Yeah, and so far, like I said, what has been Teurling's strength is when EA tries to stretch the ball out and move the ball onto the side, running those zones, running those sweeps. That has been Teurling's strength to stop, getting to move using their speed, but. And,
flag, an extra guy in motion right there, perhaps?
Maybe so. We might have had illegal motion.
They threw it right after Wilson started moving
back.
Wilson was moving from that right side. That's what you got. Illegal procedure.
Penalty. 2nd down and 15 from their own.
I think what they were going to try to do was move Wilson into the backfield, maybe fake the jet sweep and have McZeal keep it. You see that a lot in that Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going to see the same formation, and that's what McZeal's going to do is try to keep it outside. He breaks a tackle. Nice job staying on his feet. He's got a first down. Wow, that's some good. That's a good job of balance.
Down the home sideline.
So watch this replay. Gets around 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Almost gets around the 4th and the 5th for a first down. Good job mixing it up, and that was really one of the first times EA's been able to get to that edge on a run play and beat them, and good job right there.
Jackson Broussard eventually made the tackle, but he was about the 4th guy to get his hands on him on that play.
He almost slipped through those last 2, and if he would have done that,
that's.
I'm surprised right there.
Yeah, that. Oh no.
No.
And you're just going to have to fall on that, and Wilson is going to save this drive at least for the time being, as that went over McZeal's head. I hadn't seen that in a while.
I can't remember seeing a bad snap this year from EA center.
Yeah.
But that one was that is definitely what you didn't want. Now you have to put your throwing quarterback back in, and so that's tough for EA. You were getting some momentum. McZeal was in there. He was getting the ball, moving it down the field. But
33 for the Spartans.
2nd and 33.
There has been a history of that at East Ascension. They've had some trouble in the past when Darnell Lee was the coach over the years, and they had that problem last year. But this is the first time I've really seen it this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we had to delay a game right here, but
they may have gotten the timeout call. There was 1 second on the play clock. No, I saw 1 second left on the play clock. I guess they called it kind of on that.
Very quick right
maybe
there.
When it hit 0, they may have called it. And that's going to push it back even further.
Usually, don't they? I think the referees say they keep an eye on the play clock, and when it hits 0, they look at the center, and if the ball hasn't been snapped, they throw the flag. So that was just a very, very quick look at the center. And and I mean, you look at Coach Darnell, what you were just talking about. I mean, he made the playoffs 5 out of the 6 years he was a coach here.
Right.
And it's just one of the things was they could really never get a quarterback back there to get the ball into the athlete's hands.
Yeah. and the pass is complete, and so they get more than half of it back. That was a nice pass by Gotro, caught by number 8, Kamarion Brady. And so now it's all of a sudden third down and at the 42-yard line. They got to get to the 24, so it's 3rd and 18 with 1:10 left to go in the third quarter.
And this is probably 4-down territory right here.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it's not, and so you're going to see now,
a timeout.
We got a timeout by Teurlings. But this is 4-down territory. You're probably going to see EA, we need to pick up 9-10 yards right here, and then after that we'll go for the first, or the coach will make a decision to go for a field goal. But I would be shocked if this isn't 4-down territory.
Teurlings called the timeout, and so we can take a look at them because they've had the successful season with a 7-0 record, number 1 in 4A. They beat Opelousas, defending state champion. They routed Sam Houston, who came back the next week and beat EA pretty easily. Then they beat Notre Dame of Crowley. That's a big win right there. Westgate, they've won state championships. Como, they used to be a 5A team. They dropped down in classification, but they were an easy win. Rain, they went down to the Frog Capital of the world and beat them as well. Well, actually, that was a home game, so they didn't have to go there. North Vermilion, that was a forfeit victory because North Vermilion had a fight where both teams left the field against Como. So when that happens, they were forced to forfeit their next game, and so that's what happened right there.
Yeah, they're a good team. They've had a tough schedule, and playing a 5A team like EA.
Gotro escapes, and he's going to throw a pass downfield out of bounds. Closest guy to it was Caden Chavis, number 23 for Teurlings. So it's 4th and 18.
So we had Justin Oubre streaking down the field, and if he had a little bit more in his arm, he probably could have gotten it over that safety to him, but that would have been a 40-yard throw on the run, slinging it towards the end zone. I don't see EA doing that right now, but like we've talked about, that's been kind of one of the problems in the past, is finding a quarterback who can get the ball into the hands of these athletes. And EA has had a lot of things that they've struggled with over the years, but that's been one of the biggest. And if they find a quarterback that can get the ball into the hands of these athletes, then they're just as good as anybody in the state.
It's 4th down, and the punt is taken down. They made the right choice going for it right there, as number 13, Landry, is able to get to that punt before it gets to the end zone. So it's going to be 1st down. Looks like it's going to be the 2-yard line. So that's the second time they've gotten East Ascension's gotten Teurlings down inside the 5-yard line on punts.
Yeah.
So now we're down inside a minute, and unless something else happens, something unusual happens, if what we saw last time Teurlings had the ball happens here, East Ascension may not get the ball back until halfway through the 4th quarter. So you have to make a stop. You have to make a stop. It's a 2-possession game right here. You can't let them go down the field because last time they ate up 7+ minutes off the clock. And now they got 97 yards to go. So now there's more clock and yardage to get and run. So let's see what happens. And out of the backfield, not much, because that's Landry's going to wrestle down the quarterback.
He somehow managed to tackle the running back and the quarterback at the same time.
Yeah, he took down a quarterback, but he was trying to get Viltz, but then Munoz kind of got his 2 cents in as well, and they're going to call it a gain of 1 on what might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. After they do have to run one play, there's about a 4-second differential, and they're not in any hurry to run a play with a 2-possession lead.
Yeah,
2-score lead.
Don't give up a safety right here. That's all you're thinking about is. And they're going to run to that outside, but EA defended it much better this time.
Yeah, Viltz still gets close.
Yeah,
but no cigar.
Option pitch.
And that's Landry again. He's kind of low-key having a nice game out here on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And so
that will be the end of the 3rd quarter.
That quarter went in favor of Teurlings 7-0, and that makes our score 28-14 after 3. We're going to break and come back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
And we're back, and that was a pretty efficient and quick third quarter. You had 2 possessions for all intents and purposes. Yes, you had 2 plays on the third possession, but basically each team had 1 possession, and the majority of that went to Teurlings as they had a 7-minute and 17-second drive that ended in a touchdown. That's why it's 28-14.
Yeah, just Teurlings did exactly what they wanted right there. They chewed up the clock, they ran the ball, they got behind their best players, which is off that offensive line, and said, we're going to move down the field. EA right now, I think it's second and 9. They need to keep them.
They did get a few yards on second down, so technically it's third down and 1.
Okay.
Third down and 1 for the Rebels.
Yeah, you had that little pitch on the option that went over to the right side. But on first down, they did have that little short run.
EA right now, this is a chance. If they can get that stop, there's 12 minutes left. They'll get the ball with good field position. They have a chance. But if they don't get a stop and they give them a chance to take another 2, 3, 4 minutes off that clock, there's not a lot of possessions left in this game.
No.
But what we saw in the first half was the first quarter was all defense. Each team only had 3 drives total. The second quarter, we saw an eruption of 21 points and 6 drives. So
that's going to be close.
I
don't know.
I don't know. I can't
I'm not
tell.
calling it yet. The far side has it right at the first down marker.
That's close.
We're going to have to see.
EA saying fourth down. Teurlings saying first down.
Yeah, it's close.
It's
Ball is placed at the 12-yard line.
They're saying fourth.
Fourth down.
Now, I mean,
fourth and inches.
That's a decision right there. But
fourth and inches.
We last half we saw an explosion of offense in the second half. Our second quarter. Are we going to see that like we are here? In the first quarter we saw 3 drives. In the third quarter we saw 3 drives. Now are we going to see? We're going to see some points in the fourth. Wow.
Gutsy move. They're still on the field.
Are they going to go for it? Or well, they are.
Quick kick.
Oh, it's one of the little
quick
snuff
kick.
Punts.
Yep. And so
good bounce.
So East Ascension made a stand as the quick kick will roll down to the 40-yard line. You still had Munoz in the game at quarterback, but he did a good job with the little pooch kick right there.
Yeah.
And so with 11:01, it's a 2-score game for East Ascension. And so they are still alive, and it was really critical to get a 3-and-out right there because we talked about it, you talked about it, everybody's talking about it. That could have been about a 7 or 8 minute drive right there if they don't make a stop.
Yeah, and now EA, this is what we talked about with the mental toughness. They're in the game still. They haven't given up. They haven't quit. So now you got to go down the field. Don't make any mistakes.
And Gautreaux will hand it off in a loss on the carry, tackled by Frugier. That is Wilson in the backfield.
And that would be what we talked about. Don't make mistakes. This would be a mistake.
Yeah.
The pulling guard and the pulling tackle missed an assignment right there. And when that happens, you got a guy who gets hit like that, just you can't make those type of mistakes in the run game.
And that's a 2-yard loss. It's second down and 12. And you can't have negative plays.
Yeah.
You had that huge negative play that killed a drive that could have ended in points on the last possession when the snap went over the quarterback's head. And Wilson is able to get about 3 after being tackled or nearly tackled in the backfield. So that was just a good job making something out of nothing. It looked like that was Frugier who, again, penetrated the backfield but couldn't make the tackle.
It's kind of like what EA is doing to Teurlings. They're daring East Ascension to throw right now. When you look at that box, there's 8, 9 guys in the box, and they're saying they don't care that EA's lined up in the spread. They were daring them to throw for those last two plays. So EA's got to throw to make them pay for that.
Yep, and they're going to run the fake and then go left, downfield going center. There's a receiver open, and it is dropped. Dumas waited maybe a little bit too long. He was there, but then the secondary was able to compensate. And number 3, Noah Darby, was able to maybe get a fingertip on that ball.
Yeah, he broke it up. I mean, just a little bit too much air underneath it. I mean, good play design. He had him beat deep. It comes back to, again, once again, if you had a quarterback who could actually throw the ball that far and throw it well, that's a pass completion. That's possibly a touchdown. And EA faking
They were faking a fake.
Yeah.
As Martinez is in the backfield, kind of in that up back spot, and he went behind the center, but they decided to punt anyway, and then it's going to take a bounce and taken at the 20-yard line and just kind of dancing around and really not doing much with it.
Yeah.
Number 23, that's Chavis. And so it's first down with 9:23 left to go. Let's go to the middle school scoreboard while we have a chance in honor of our good friend David Swacker. Swacker, take care, man.
Your fourth quarter tonight is brought
we're glad to have you
Touchdown
still
Cider
around
Bar
with
and
us.
Mission Street Cafe.
Galvez with a
They're proud
win
supporters of the EA
over
Spartans,
Gonzales
conveniently located
middle,
on Highway
20-16.
73,
Dutchtown
near
with the big
I-10
win
in
over Santa Monica,
Dutchtown.
26-6. Lake beats Prairieville 32-20, and then Central beat Lowry 27-6. And the bye week this week in Ascension Parish Middle Schools goes to Bluff. And so big week for middle schools. They're getting near the end of their schedule and the end of their season, and we're about 2 weeks away from the end of the regular season here in varsity high school football.
Yeah, even if EA isn't able to come back and win this, I mean, that's still, they're going to get good points from playing this team. So if they win 1, maybe 2 more games for the rest of the year, they have a shot at making the playoffs.
And they got a shot at getting the ball close to midfield right there. Teurlings with the catch, Jack Purser, and the run downfield. He was the guy who scored the touchdown on the misdirection play. And when he got a little momentum, he lowered his shoulder into Ernest Mitchell and gave him a wallop.
And just
from their own 45.
Got to that edge, and good blocking by the wide receivers, and just able to pick up another big chunk. And that's kind of what we've seen happen since the second quarter, is just picking up those big chunks. And now we're going to have a flag here on EA.
Yeah, the right defensive end jumped. You've seen that happen a couple of times, but it was some instances where the Teurlings offense wasn't snapping the ball yet. They were kind of looking to you had that moment where everybody stands up and looks to the sideline for the call. Jameer Smith got called for it right there, though, number 94. That's what we're talking about right there, getting up and looking to the sideline. You've seen EA kind of flinch a couple of times when that happened. But that time, I guess they're going to say he got to the point of no return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just that offense, very quick scheme, and they just look to the sideline. Which gap are we attacking? Okay.
And that is Viltz gets past the line of scrimmage, and then he loses his head.
Yeah, that was they hit him so hard the helmet came off, and I think he's got to come off for a play because there was no penalty.
And that's just a couple of Spartans with some just hard hitting right there.
Yeah, EA they're selling out for the run. I mean, you look at their defense; they're just playing straight up man on the edges, and they're saying we're going to stop the run. But so far since the second quarter, they've had a lot of trouble in stopping, especially if they try to attack the edges.
Second down and 3. Now you got Evans in the backfield. He gets it. And he gets a first down.
Mm-hmm.
But a flag may bring it back.
And that flag that referee threw that flag about 30 yards.
Evans on the carry, Jupiter on the tackle, flag on
So let's see what it is before we confirm a first down. It's going to come back.
Yeah, I think we got a legal motion.
No, it was a hold. They called a hold. I did see it.
Call is holding on the Rebels.
I gets them with 77 right there at the top, and that's a tough penalty if you're Teurlings because, you want to tell your right tackle you weren't even in the play.
Yeah.
And you didn't need to hold him right there, but that hold is going to bring him back about 10 yards, gives EA a little bit of life with 7:45 left.
So first down is negated, and if they call it from the line of scrimmage, it's going to be 2nd down and 13, and that's exactly what they did. This Teurlings team does not make a lot of mistakes. You talked about no turnovers. That's one of the few penalties that they've committed that's really hurt them on offense. Yeah. They did have a couple of the ineligible downfield penalties in the first quarter, but since then it's been a pretty clean game. Actually, that was in the second quarter when they had that drive with those penalties. As now Munoz breaks a tackle, he's got a first down, and McZeal's the only guy that can get him before he makes that last move.
For a first down.
And
big run, we got 2 players
now.
You
got a couple of tangled up players at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be that big guy, Perry. And he was in it with Campbell. It looks like Perry got the worst of that. That's Drake Perry, that lineman, number 74.
Yeah, he is hurting right now, but a good run on the outside by Munoz there. And and you're right, they've played very disciplined. And it's crazy because this team has actually never won state. They've been to the semis 5 times. This might be the year that they actually get to do that. But when I talked to Coach Dane Charpentier, yes. So when I talked to him before the game, they're trying to build a culture there, a culture that's all about winning and all about taking care of these kids. And he's got them very disciplined. He's got them very focused, and we've seen it tonight. And they've played tough and they've played scrappy. I mean, they had some personal fouls, but a lot of the fouls that they've had have been plays where they're just playing beyond the whistle and playing very physical football. And you like it as a coach, but at the same time, you're like, we got to clean some of this up. But he's had them playing very, very tough. And EA as well. EA has played very well this game, a marked improvement, especially from last year with how they've come out and just – they haven't committed a bunch of dumb penalties. The end zone penalty was probably the worst. That, honestly, put them in the situation they're in by helping them give up that touchdown at the end of the half. But
right. You're right. I totally forgot about that for a moment. Thanks for reminding me. It's 1st and 10 at the 32, 7:17 left to go. And Teurlings is in a position where they can maybe, if they can extend this drive, cut this clock in half, maybe get it down to like the 3 or 4 minute mark before EA can even touch the football.
Yeah, Drake Perry goes out of the game, and his brother is the Tulane commit, Gresham Perry, and hopefully he's doing okay.
And a flag.
I think we got to delay a game on Teurlings.
Well, that's what the guy down in front of us yelled. Well, I agree with him right there. Delay a game.
Delay a game on the Rebels. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
They are very quick on the delay a game penalties tonight.
From the 37-yard line of the Spartans.
Yeah, just like you said, they might get the ball back with about 4 minutes left.
If they don't make a stop right now. Because I doubt that Teurlings goes to the air at all, and if they do, it would probably be a conservative pass that would be completed pretty easily.
EA seems to be thinking the same thing.
Or maybe not. Sack. Jace Campbell almost beheaded Munoz.
I think that's about the closest you can get to a face mask without actually hitting a face mask.
Yep.
Good timing on that hit. He's been in the backfield a few times tonight. We've said his name quite a lot, and I know he's had a couple of lapses in pass coverage, but attacking the run, man, he has been a monster going downhill, going after them.
The ball is back at the 45, so it's going to be 2nd down and 23. It's Viator in motion, and they're setting up the little swing pass, and that's Viltz with some jukes and gets about half of it back, maybe.
Wiltz on the reception from Munoz.
We'll get that 3rd down, and depending on how many yards they get on this 3rd down, this might be 4-down territory to try and ice the game.
3rd down, 15. From the Spartans,
so far, Teurlings just sticking to the game plan. Move the football, chew up clock, and they've done a great job at it. What'd you say, a 7-minute drive in the 3rd quarter, and now this drive approaching, 6 minutes? I mean,
it's been a few minutes. This drive started around the 20-yard line. Munoz just holding on to it and stays in bounds and kind of takes the sack,
on the play
which
by
was
number 42,
smarter probably than stepping out of bounds as Ragus gets to Munoz, but if you go out of bounds right there or throw an incomplete pass, the clock stops. Right now the clock is stopped with 5:08, and that's because EA is going to take a timeout. And so EA's got 2 timeouts remaining, I do believe. And speaking of EA, they've got it's going to be hard for them to make the playoffs, especially if they lose tonight, because they have the 4 losses already. This will be their 5th loss of the season. They lost to Brother Martin, Sam Houston, Denham Springs, and Santa Maria. And you see TEURLINGS right there. If they fall there, it's going to be 3-5, and they would have to win a couple of games probably to get into the playoffs. And the problem is you have Dutchtown, who's unbeaten right now. That's their opponent next week, although they trail Walker. But then you look at you might say, well, what do they have week 10? Well, they got Walker, who's beating Dutchtown right now. And so you got the team that's on top of the district and the team that's beating the team on top of the district in their last 2 games. So they're going to need some help. They're going to need a big win, an unexpected win, probably, to get to the postseason.
Yeah, Walker is currently beating Dutchtown 38-17.
Oh, wow.
So Dutchtown probably going to get their first loss in district, but I agree. They're going to need to pick up at least one. I mean, they do have some good power points because they've lost to some good teams.
Yeah.
But this district as a whole, the 5-1A, has just been such a tough district this year. I mean, everybody with the exception of Prairieville has just played incredible games against other opponents. And EA has, they have a new coach, new administration. They're coming in trying to establish a whole new culture and identity here, and they've done a pretty good job of it. And it would be nice if in Coach Mathern's first year they could make the playoffs, but Dutchtown's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Walker, it's going to be tough.
Now, go ahead.
And I don't know if they can get a win for the rest of the year, but I do know that that the way that these teams have all played this whole season, anyone in the district can beat anyone at any given night.
That was a pooch punt that we just saw, and it was a good job by Munoz. Now Gotros throwing, and there's a receiver downfield, and it's nearly picked off by number 3, who was sitting out there waiting for Noah Darby.
Olivier again.
Pass intended for Blackburn.
And one of the things I'll mention, if they don't get the win here, the nice thing about ending your season with Dutchtown and Walker is that if you do pull the upset, that is going to be an upset that's going to shoot you up the power rankings. And you need to get to 28 because they put 28 teams in the postseason. The top 4 teams get a bye. And so you have to hit 28 in order to get that game.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken right now, I think they're number 48 is where they're at. So they need to, when I was looking at the Go Preps, I was looking at them earlier. They had them ready pretty low. Now, I don't know where the LHSAA has them, but.
As you see the replay right there.
Lathan Dumas on the carry.
Trying to get something right there, but
3rd and 10.
Looking at the power rankings, they're at 28. I mean, they need to get to 28. They're at 30 right now. And if they can beat Dutchtown next week, they will be in the top 28.
Yeah, so, and TEURLINGS, I mean, this is a team we talked about. They're number 1 in 4A.
Yeah.
This isn't a team that, like, we thought this could be a blowout coming into the game. We were looking at how they both competed against Sam Houston. But EA has not just come out and played them tough. They played them well.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for a couple of mistakes, that penalty in the end zone and things like that, this is a 1-score game right now with 4 minutes left. But, when I talked to Coach Mathern, what does he think is keeping EA from taking the next step? And he said, we've got to just continue to build our school. Year after year we have talent, but we need to invest in the team, invest in the community, and get everyone on the same page and the same culture. And if we can do that, we're going to grow. And EA, we know they have the talent. So hopefully they're able to put it together and actually start making runs.
It's 4th and 6, and they're going to have to go for it and try to convert it, and it's over the head, incomplete. They try to get it to Darren McGee, and now this is probably going to be the death blow for tonight because TEURLINGS has the ball inside the 10-yard line with a 2-score game. And
Walker,
so
38, Dutchtown,
you could
17.
be about to turn this into a 3 possession game with 4 minutes left, and that's probably out of reach. But you talked about it, and I agree with you. This is a lot closer. I mean, it is a 14-point game, but it's a lot closer than some people would have expected it to be. And it was really close to being a situation where this could be a one-score game right now.
This is going to be one of those games when you see it on the scoreboard and you see them, maybe they score a touchdown here and they go up by 21 points. It's going to be one of those games where the score doesn't indicate the feel of the game.
Yeah.
This hasn't been a game where from the first quarter, second quarter, or third quarter, you felt like you were out of the game. EA has been in it every single time. Until that possession right there, they even still had more time.
Letchworth got the carry, and McZeal ran all the way across the field to call the timeout. So we're going to take a timeout with them and take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
.358 left to go. It's TEURLINGS 28, East Ascension 14, and TEURLINGS trying to put the icing on the cake right here. Man in motion. Fake, pass, incomplete. And it looked like it was in his breadbasket. That was Celestine, number 0, but he couldn't pull it in, and that would have been the sealer right there.
I think Mitchell got just a little bit of a hand on it, which messed up his catch right there. And I think we're going to get 3rd and 8 now, and EA still playing tough. I mean, they're not giving up the easy touchdown right there, so good on them.
Now, a field goal right here would make it a 3-possession game, and that would be just as good as scoring a touchdown right here if you think about it.
Yeah, if they don't just.
And Munoz will. That's close,
him out of bounds.
But he's out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, they almost have to go for this.
I don't know. If you make it a 3-possession game, that's kind of your goal right here, you would think, as he tries to reach for it.
Might be sending the field goal unit on.
Yeah. I think that's a smart play, because if you make EA scores 3 times, that's going to be almost impossible. Is that the field goal
unit, or is that the jumbo unit?
Did they just change their backfield? That's Viltz in there, and he's kind of dotting the I back there, and so they're actually going to call a timeout. And talk about it. I don't know what's going to happen here. They may think about it again, but we're going to keep it here with 3:49 left to go in this game. And we want to remind you that we have the Rev Game of the Week coming up for the rest of the regular season. We got 2 channels on YouTube that you can subscribe to, Rev Sports 1 and Rev Sports 2. Next week on Rev Sports 1, you got Dutchtown at East Ascension. And we talked about how important that game is for East Ascension. If they can win that game, they might be able to get into the playoffs. On Rev Sports 2, meanwhile, Santa Maria at Prairieville, and that's where we're going to be next week. And then 2 weeks from now, Thursday on Rev Sports 1, you get Live Oak at Dutchtown. And then on Friday on Rev Sports 1, you get Homecoming for Prairieville, St. Thomas Aquinas at Prairieville. Meanwhile, Friday in 2 weeks on Rev Sports 2, you got Patterson at Donaldsonville. And so that's what you get on the screen. And they are going to go for it on 4th down. And it's a rollout and a pass, and it is dropped. And they brought in the big defensive tackle, Fruge, to get a touchdown. And this is why you should have kicked the field goal.
We got an entry right here, and
yeah, there's an injury.
I think that's Mitchell.
Yep. And yes, you had the perfect play dialed up, but then when the guy drops the pass, what do you do? Now, with 3:45 left to go and the ball on the 2-yard line, it's still very slim opportunity to make a comeback here. But if you make it a 3-score game and you got to do it 3 times, then that's with 3:45 left to go, it's impossible. That's why I say you go for the field goal right there. But, yeah, they had the perfect play dialed up, and it should have been a touchdown, but it wasn't.
No, you're right. And that's, I'm pretty sure every coach in their epitaph, that could probably be a chapter in the book, is I called the perfect play, and it didn't work the way we wanted it to. So, I mean, it's a great point. But Teurlings, they wanted to go for the win right there. They had the ball on the half-yard line, and the field goal would have been smart. It would have put the game away, and they must feel like with 14 points and with the EA's inability to move the ball in the second half, they must just feel like we've got this in the bag. But once again, EA playing mentally tough, hanging in there, and not giving up the touchdown, even though he dropped the ball. I mean, that still goes down in the stat book as a defensive stand in the red zone. So good job on them. And I have a score update from White Castle and Ascension Christian. It is the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, and it is a 14-12 game.
Wow. I know you're happy about that.
I am. That is that fires me up. I don't think we've never beaten White Castle. It's never even been a 2-point game, so I'm very excited.
Now you got to go 99 yards, and then you got to score again. And you got Gautreaux in the backfield at quarterback.
Which EA has the speed to do this.
Yes.
I mean, if they get the ball in space to someone, he could chew up yardage. They've got several athletes that are very good. It's just they've got to get them the ball.
I'm sure they're looking for McZeal at some point here as you get the handoff, and it's a first down.
Blackburn
and
carries
that's
around
Jason
the right
Blackburn.
side.
He had the kick return for a touchdown.
For SKR Construction.
He single-handedly changed the way that Teurlings is kicked off for the rest of the game because they said we're not putting the ball back in his hands. So, I mean, EA has game-changing athletes. We'll see if they can keep getting to the ball right here.
They may have had some motion right there, just a little bit.
Yeah. Did half the team start while the quarterback and the center were still on?
And the ball was from the center. Once he did, it was kind of dribbled back there.
Center's had that's only his second one, but.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of affected by the motion, and he kind of knew that was a
the first and
lost
15
play.
From the 6-yard line.
If you're EA, I mean, this is where losing your quarterback hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost their quarterback. I think it was the first game of the year, and the only game he was healthy was the Prairieville game, and they scored 50 points.
And there's McZeal. Like I said, that's the guy they want to get the ball to. And it's close to a first down.
They said he was out of bounds, so that stops the clock.
Broussard on the tackle for the Rebels.
You had the Prairieville game, which we covered. That was homecoming night. And you had three quarterbacks at that point. You had Cam LeBlanc, who started, and he got hurt. And then you had Hudson Browning, who was a quarterback last year. He got hurt in that game, and now neither one of those guys is available. And Gautreaux, it's his game, and he's got the first down on the pass right there.
Teurlings got away with a face mask right there on that tackle. So 3 minutes left. We'll see what EA can dial up.
And now Gautreaux will get out of bounds, and then a flag after the play is over.
I think did the Teurlings player level and it's an EA wide receiver?
I don't know if it was the defenseless player thing. Still waiting for the official to sort it out. He's talking to the far side referee.
And they're trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, it almost certainly is a personal foul against Teurlings.
Let's see. Yep, you probably called it right, defenseless player.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he tried to take out one of the blockers with just a hard hit, and you just can't do that, especially when a team's driving in. I mean, now with 3 minutes left, the ball is in Teurlings territory.
We're first and 10 from the 47.
So first down. Gautreaux deep and over the head of Lathan Dumas.
So
and
now
so it's second down.
Gautreaux's pass incomplete, intended for Dumas. Second
EA
and 10 from
still
the
has
Rebel,
time,
47-yard
still
line.
in this, and the penalty helps a lot right there, but just keep doing what you've been doing to get to this point. Move the ball in space, get those little 10, 15-yard chunks. Right now, with 3 minutes left, don't be afraid to attack the middle of the field. You still have a timeout. They stop the ball on first downs. Stop the clock on first downs.
Gautreaux running, flag thrown. Looks like he's near first down yardage and past it.
Near a first down.
Did you see? Looks like a hold
flag on the play.
On EA.
Yeah, I think so. It's coming back.
Call is holding on EA.
That's a rough call right there, especially with what we talked about in the first half with some of those holds that gave TEURLINGS some big plays. That's a tough call, but EA has they've moved the football. This has been the best drive they've had in the second half, moving the ball. So hopefully they can continue to move it down the field.
2nd and 20 from the 43. Screen set up, and it's caught. And he's got room, and he's into TEURLINGS territory to the 41. Jason Blackburn with the catch.
Across midfield.
Oh, no, that's actually midfield. Excuse me.
We got the timeout by EA right here, and 2:41 left. I mean, now you're going to have to see EA. Once they get this first down right here, you're going to see them start taking shots.
We're going to take a break with this score, 28-14. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program: Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week. Jeff Forrest, Jonathan Moore with you at Spartan Stadium. It's 28-14. TEURLINGS Catholic leads East Ascension. And East Ascension, this is do or die here. They got 2 plays to convert, and they need to get 2 scores. But if they give up the ball, they just called their last time out, they probably would not get the ball back.
Yeah.
And so 3rd down, Gautreaux with the long pass caught, and dancing and not getting the first down.
We talked about it earlier. Don't go backwards. And
that's Oob, I believe, with the catch. So Justin Oob.
And I think I think Oubre was the one who we talked about in the first half. Don't go backwards.
4th and 4 for the Spartans from the Rebel 41.
You cannot make that mistake. At least fall forward, get those 2-3 yards, and now it's 4th and 5. So the game on the line right here.
Right. It'll be over if they don't get the first down. Gautreaux pressure, rolls, throws, overthrown, incomplete. And with 2 minutes left, TEURLINGS can run out the clock. They're trying to get it to McSeal. So that's going to do it.
First and 10 from their own
because East Ascension is out of timeouts. And with a 40-second play clock, TEURLINGS will come through with the victory. And TEURLINGS is going to move to 8-0 on the season. And East Ascension now in must-win mode for probably the rest of the season. They're going to drop to 3-5 in district play, and TEURLINGS is going to take the knee.
Yeah, this is one of those games, hard-fought game, 28-14. I know it's a 2-score game, but EA was in this all the way until the end, so great job by them. And Coach Mathurin is building something special here. I mean, Ascension Parish has got a lot of very talented teams right now going on, and we'll see where things happen next year when they redistrict, if we keep the district the same. But we know EA, Santa Maria, Dutchtown, and Prairieville will stay in the same district together.
Yeah,
so,
you have the 2-year setup, and none of these teams are going to get any smaller.
Yeah.
They've already took the hit from Prairieville. So these teams and these schools will probably continue to grow.
Yeah, and I mean, Prairieville is probably going to go along the same path as Dutchtown. We'll see for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're probably going to struggle, but in year 3 and year 4, when you start to see that freshman class and that sophomore class turn into juniors, turn into seniors, you're going to see them start to improve. And this parish has so much talent that we have 4 or 5A schools that consistently 1 to 2 will make the playoffs. So it's going to be exciting to see going forward what happens. And EA, Coach Bethune, looks like he's building something special here. I mean, EA has a lot of history. And when you talk to people, especially around the state, this is a school that has a ton of history that has never won a state championship, never even been to the Dome.
Yeah.
So if he's able to build something that's able to do that, how much better could this school get?
East Ascension, they didn't take the hit like Dutchtown and Santa Maria did from Prairieville. Most of the kids that wound up being part of Prairieville came from those two areas. They did lose some people, so there will be a bit of a hit, but they're not going to take the big hit like the other schools will as we get to the final seconds, and they're already shaking hands before the clock runs down to 0. So that's going to be it. Our final score is going to be TEURLINGS 28, East Ascension 14. We're going to keep it here because you're going to have the alma mater that will be played at the end by the East Ascension band. And so we're going to keep it here for that. And like I said, 28-14, our final score. It was a good game, and it was close all night. And basically the difference was the back-to-back possessions at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half that turned a tie game into a 28-14 game. And EA was never able to recover from that.
Yeah, and TEURLINGS played very, very well. We might be watching a team that could be not only in the Dome, but a team that could win the state championship this year and select. So a real treat, and we got to see a team that's building. EA looks like they have some good pieces in place. They play good physical defense. They've got some good athletes in space, and we'll see how they're able to put it together over the next couple of years. But exciting game to see a potential state champion and a team that's being built up from the ground.
And we have one more score update. Santa Maria has come back against Live Oak, and that score right now is 42-20. So we are wrapping things up, and I want to remind you, if we can take a look at the REV schedule one more time, the games of the week while we wait for the band. Coming up on Rev Sports 1 over the next 2 weeks, you got next Friday, Dutchtown at EA. Then the following Thursday, you got Live Oak at Dutchtown. And then St. Thomas Aquinas at Prairieville the following Friday, 2 weeks from tonight. And then on Rev Sports 2, you have Santa Maria at Prairieville next Friday. We'll be there. And then Donaldsonville will host Patterson at the end. And so we're about to go send it down to the field because the alma mater is about to be played by the East Ascension band. So we'll send it down to the field, and we'll just wait for them and wait for the audio. So that's going to conclude our broadcast here tonight from Spartan Stadium. Our final score, TEURLINGS 28, East Ascension 14. Want to thank Jonathan for your help here tonight, and thanks to Lau Boudreau back at home producing our broadcast. Our director, Courtney Lawrence, And then our camera operator is Rhett Nikosha. Happy late birthday, by the way. I was told that Courtney wanted to say that. And then Priya Singleton also on the cameras. So thanks to everybody. We'll see you next week over at Prairieville High School. Until then, have a great night and see you next week. You have been watching the Rev Game of the Week.